Welcome back, everyone, to Curse of the Vistani, episode 20. We are currently down 2 people this time. Aurora and Curio are not here. Curio will be late, and Aurora may or may not make it. We're not sure.
It's ladies' night until they show up.
Yeah, girls' time.
Can we put a wig on Callan and make him one of the ladies for the day?
Oh, gosh.
He's an honorary lady.
Wow. Don't let him hear you say that.
Well, I mean, he's stick. I don't think Mara would allow him not to be.
All right, so last time, you guys finally managed to break out of the time loop. And Saflin had a very touching reunion with her mother.
Yes.
And we got presents!
Yes, and you got presents. You each got a new item to add to your accoutrement.
Yes.
So, it is still the morning, just after breakfast has ended. You guys have your presents. Are you guys planning on sticking around for a while, or are you going to head out right after breakfast?
I do have a thought.
John sticks a wig on Callan. What?
Would our water still be fresh, or should we refill it?
I mean, we could definitely refill that while we're here.
Yeah. I'd like to refill our water flasks.
That's doable.
I'm assuming we've had breakfast here.
Yes, you have eaten breakfast.
I have stolen pocket bacon.
Okay.
More pocket bacon! I'd like pocket bacon too. Just keep me away from the kids, please. I don't want to be bit.
We have all filched pocket bacon.
Yes. All right. San plays fetch with Moro and Callan. Oh, geez. So Callan's fetching, is he?
I think Moro's fetching Callan.
Are you throwing Callan to fetch? Callan is stick. Got
it. That's a sight in my mind.
Callan is stick.
Yes, Callan is stick.
Yeah, assuming that we've filched our pocket bacon and refilled our water flask, I would probably suggest to the group that we head out, because we're already kind of behind on our wellness check.
Yep.
Okay. San says, wait, booze.
What about it?
I'm guessing she wants some. Question is, which booze does she go after? Do you get the booze back that you took? You could probably sneak off to get some of the booze from the servants' quarters.
Oh, that stuff.
You can probably get at max 2 bottles.
Where's she gonna hide them, though?
3, and she has a sack.
Yeah, she has like a little satchel. She doesn't have a bag of holding, but she has like a little pouch.
Yeah, we'll say. All right. If you can get a good enough stealth roll, I'll let you get 3. If not, then 2. So roll stealth.
Stealth or sleight of hand?
Either.
Okay.
23 is good enough. You get 3 bottles.
Oh god. Okay, I need to figure out why Roll20 has suddenly decided that I can't read any of the numbers. They're gray on yellow.
Ooh.
Mine are purple.
Yeah, like I can't read any of that.
That's yucky.
Gray on yellow. That's an odd combination.
Yeah, like I have to hover to see what the number is, because I can't. That's not readable.
And she likes the new cloak. Oh, is the cloak what gave you advantage there? Oh, very nice. That's right, it does give you advantage to stealth, doesn't it? Yep. That's going to come in really handy for you.
Yep.
You are going to be the stealthiest one in the party, by far.
I'm going to try to refresh Roll20, because I don't know what's going on with it.
Okay. All right, so you guys get your pocket bacon, you refill your water, and San steals some booze. Is that all you want to do before heading out?
I know Faradale was saying he wants to ask if he can see in the vault, but I don't know.
Okay.
He said he wants to
He
do
would
it
ask a
15
bunch of
I
times.
knew you guys were wanting to do that, and I was trying to give you opportunity to at least ask.
Yeah, Curio was going to ask about 15 times.
Yep.
Right.
And my guess is just tail swishing back and forth, like, please, 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 giving kitty cat eyes.
So Curio, being the incessant
Curious cat.
curious cat that he is, keeps asking to see in the vault, and after about the 12th time asking, Pax finally like, oh fine, you can take a look. Brimble, let him see. So Brimble takes Curio and San.
I kind of want to know too, but I don't want to impose.
Anyone who wants to see,
I mean, I did die.
Yeah.
I'm good
So,
not knowing.
Brimble goes and activates the 4 statues, trying to be sneaky because he doesn't know you already know the code. And then he comes and fetches you guys to come take a look at the vault. And as the doors to the vault open, it's kind of like magically lit in here. There's a nice like round room just filled to the brim with all sorts of goodies. There's a bunch of gold piled up. There's staffs and rods and weapons and spell scrolls.
What's that stealth check for, San? A sleight of hand.
He's trying to
my.
filch something.
So
In front of Brimble?
I will say that any stealth, any attempt to steal something from here will have to be at disadvantage.
Oh, so you would have to go again.
Because Brimble's right in front of your
Because
face.
Brimble is going to be keeping a close watch on all of you, and you're not allowed to go in. You're only allowed to look in. So
we're in the door frame. We're not allowed past the threshold.
It would be very difficult to get something in this case.
Yeah.
You could probably snatch something from like right at the entrance. So if you're going to steal, it would have to be at disadvantage, which for San would just be a straight roll instead of an advantage roll because it counteracts each other.
Your token is
not here.
In the Black Abyss, maybe? Or aha.
Where is her token?
Just hadn't been moved.
Where is it?
Yeah, I don't see it on the map. I see Morrow. I don't see San.
I don't see San either, so let's bring her out.
Did you kick her to the abyss? Meaning completely off the map?
Yeah, is she in the Fog of War?
There you go. Alright, so San is there now. Not sure what happened to your character, but you're there now.
Maybe she went invisible.
Alright, so
Stealth.
Your stealth check, you get a 24. Alright. And
yes, chat cannot see you typing. This is accurate on your overlay meteor.
Oh, thank you.
They can see it on mine.
Alright. Rolls. I forgot to update the rolls tab. There we go. Okay, so your stealth is pretty good. Go ahead and roll your sleight of hand. And I'm going to go to Brimble's page and roll for his perception. Wow. 24 and 25.
Nice. Can I attempt to perceive San doing this?
Sure.
I mean, I don't think my roll's gonna beat that, but
All right. So his
Nope.
perception is a +6. So.
yeah. So Son is going for 1 or 2
Oof.
gold or whatever's close by.
Oof.
Wow, that was a bad roll.
He
Would
does
he have
not see anything.
Would he have advantage because he's alert?
Probably. I was debating that already.
Pardon the Velcro. My brace is hurting a little bit. I'm trying to adjust it.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wow, he really ain't seeing anything.
He's just very trusting of you all. He doesn't think you're after having died and just given you gifts. He's not expecting anyone to try and steal something.
It's like I just
So-
gave you things. What more could you want?
Exactly.
I'm
wouldn't be
standing
that
farther
greedy,
back.
right?
What's that?
I'm just standing farther back. I'm just looking through the door.
Yeah, I'm in the threshold, just looking. I did an investigation roll to see if there was anything of note from what I could see, but that was the only roll that I did. That was well.
So yeah, there's various spell scrolls and just all manner of weapons and like gems, artifacts. You also did an Arcana and got a 20. Your rolls are pretty good right now, son. All right, I will have to get back to you about what you pilfer. I'll have to figure out what you get from in there.
Do something here. What was our reward from the?
From
Did
what?
we get the monetary reward at the guild, right?
Yep,
Yes.
Later. Okay,
Yep.
so nothing here. All right.
correct.
So we just got our presents last time, and that was it.
Right. So you would have to like send word back to them.
Okay.
with
I was
the
just making
time.
sure I hadn't missed anything because I didn't
Yeah,
have notes.
If we send word to them that it's completed, do they
Mhm.
send the money to us for the reward?
Yeah. Yep. They'd send it via probably
In
the same
theory.
messenger.
Okay.
Of all the times for me to have
alright,
not
Son.
taken Animal Messenger.
Son, what kind of thing are you trying to steal? Weapon, spell scroll, money, what? You have to choose
Son
one
had
thing.
before had said 1 or 2 gold or whatever's close by, but
Okay.
I don't know if
she's
that
saying
decision has changed.
whatever was close.
All right. Yeah, I did see the 1 or 2 gold. Okay. With your roll, if you're just going for gold and not items, then we'll say you get 25 gold with how
That's
well you roll.
Oh,
That's significant.
There's just a stack of gold. She didn't
Wow.
even get the whole thing. That's how much was there. That's another reason why he didn't notice, because it was already in a big old stack, and she just grabbed a handful and stuck it in her pocket.
Well, there you go, Son.
maybe his head was
Just
turned
add that to
talking
your
to.
character sheet.
Right.
Maybe his head was turned
So-
talking to Saflin.
Yeah, that gives you like just a little hint of just how much is in this vault.
Tons.
They have lots.
Yeah, I
of
don't
gold.
trust my rolls to try to pull that off.
And that also can tell you why they were so protective of the vaults.
Yeah.
And not letting anyone near it.
Yep.
Part of me still wants a fancy party dress for Luna, but
Eh.
Okay.
I'm sure I'll be
So-
able to get one later.
You get your gold. You guys kind of finish up looking in there, and he's like, "Okay, we got to close this now." And he ushers you all off to the side, and then goes off to close the vault. I don't think Curio would have tried to swipe anything, right? Most likely
Probably not.
We can let him decide that later.
I don't think he
and retcon it if
would.
need be. Yeah, I don't think he would either, but
I think
still
he'd
wanna
be
give him a chance.
probably wanting to like pick up things and look at them because he's
Yeah.
curious, but,
Right, but he wouldn't have
have been
pocketed them.
allowed in.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Brimble wouldn't have let him get in that far. So
If he moves, does the door close? So he has you guys follow him to the side, like standing in.
Away
He
from the
like
door.
tells you to go away from the door, and then he goes to close it at the statue. Yeah, so
No more swiping.
it would be very, very difficult to swipe again.
Swiper, no swiping.
If you were to try again, I'd have you do it at like super disadvantage.
I know, but I was referencing.
Want to test your roll? Oh gosh.
Meanwhile, Solon's arm gets stuck in the door.
Are you actually testing your roll? Or
Needy user says, "Why you steal from the rat?"
And that's
Solon's the one stealing. We're not stealing.
2d20 1 plus 8.
Son's the rogue. It's kind of what they do.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
All right. So I'd say even with a 19, you're not able to get anything else.
I will be right back. I need to make sure the garage door closed just now.
Yeah.
Okay, Lily.
I'd say the DC for trying to get anything more right then would be like a 22. So very difficult. All right. So you pocket your gold. You guys pack up all your stuff, gather your stuff out of the room that you guys were staying in, or rooms.
Yep.
Since I assume you all wouldn't stay in the same place. And then you head on out.
Give
you
our
know
horse
that,
a pat on the head.
Yeah, you go retrieve your horses in your carriage, and let's move you all over to the Move you over to the map, like that. There we go.
That map.
Yes. So you guys know that there's another exit separate from where you entered, up here.
Yeah, we're headed to the farm next, right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, doing our wellness check. I'm assuming we got the relevant permissions to travel through that pathway.
Oh yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to care how you leave.
Cool. They're just happy that we can leave.
Yeah, right there.
No, you have to go around.
It's going to be like a kind of hilly, rocky area. It takes you a few hours to get out that far. A little longer than it took to get to the edge the other way. And your entire traveling experience while traveling through their property is just kind of empty. Like, you see the occasional animal or two because there is like wooded area, but for the most part it is
Dead quiet.
You're just traveling. Yeah, it's quiet.
It's maintained. It's safe area.
Also, as a side thing, Meteor, one of these days we need to get Firedale his little birdie pet he wants.
He wants a birdie pet? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like his image. That's why I grabbed the cage one day. He wants a little birdie pet.
Gotcha. Wondering if you can fly at night as a bat. Yeah, you can fly whenever you want. I don't remember if I think it does let you polymorph into a bat, yeah.
But for how long?
Yeah, it would be whatever the duration of the polymorph is.
Yeah. Let me look up the cloak. Cloak of the Bat. You can use your action to cast polymorph on yourself, transforming into a bat, which lasts 1 hour.
Only 1 hour.
Yep. And then you can't use it again until the next dawn. So yeah, you could definitely fly as a bat once a day, easily.
And your fly speed is 30 feet, which is the same as our movement speed.
Yep.
For the most part, so not a huge benefit.
I think it would be
and it does have
faster
to
by
be dim light or
horse.
darkness, so you can't do it during the day, right? Or like a very dimly lit.
Yeah, you can't get the 10 bonus feet unless it's dim or dark.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's just 30.
All right. So as
Wouldn't
you're
horse
traveling,
be faster though? Horse and carriage than flying as bat.
Yeah.
Yes, the horses do have a faster movement speed.
I mean, you could probably fly around in the cart. I don't see why not.
Or transform and sit on top of it and hold on.
San shows Moro Sambat. So you turn into you take your cloak and you kind of like wrap it around yourself, and you cast the polymorph spell, and you just start shrieking and shrieking, and Moro is just looking at you and like getting concerned, like, why are you getting smaller? And kind of like starts sniffing and kind of barking a bit. And you just keep getting smaller and smaller until you just transform into this bat and you start flying around the carriage.
All right,
it is a covered carriage.
In case people are interested, the horses start at 40 feet movement speed and can go up to 60 depending on if it's a draft horse or a riding horse.
The breed, basically, right?
No, it depends on if it's pulling something or not.
Oh, okay.
A draft horse would be pulling a plow or a carriage or etc.
Yeah, so they could like just go, whereas if you're riding horseback, you can go
They can
real
go
fast.
60 because you can go to gallop and you don't have to worry about overturning the cart, yeah.
Yeah,
San lands on
makes
Talon
sense.
and tries to nip him.
Ow! Ow! Stop! Son! No biting!
Kind of swats at you.
Gosh, you made me bleed!
Are you going to make Callan roll an attack? Because if Callan attacks and exceeds the bat's HP, Son reverts.
No, he's not going to actually attack.
Son just bit him, though.
Son's actually gonna...
Okay.
Yeah, so
All right.
now he would.
We're throwing her.
Gosh, darn it! Gah.
And he's going to roll a unarmed strike.
No.
Oh, no,
she bit. She bit the user.
Yeah. Let's see.
Bats have an armor class of 12, and they have a 1d4 minus 1 hit points, which on the normal stat table is 1 hit point.
He's gonna.
So he has to roll to attack.
HP. What the hell?
So he's gonna roll an unarmed strike, which he has a +1. Slash roll 1d20 +1. He gets a nat 20. So he's going to hit you for. You ready for this? 0 damage.
Well, there you go.
His unarmed strike has a damage of 0.
Well,
Are you absolutely sure it's 0 and it's not +0?
It just says straight 0. Like if I roll it.
So he is not good at hitting things. He's just flailing around.
No,
that's weird because normally your unarmed strike at least does something.
He has a strength of -1.
Ah, that's why.
Yep.
So he's just flailing around, just trying to hit and can't.
Yeah. Well, he makes contact, but it doesn't hurt whatsoever. It's just kind of like a light slap.
And she nips at him again.
Gosh.
Yeah, because it's normally unarmed strike
I don't
deals.
want to be a vampire.
Is bludgeoning, and it's 1 plus your strength modifier. So since his strength mod is -1,
yep,
it's a 0.
Turns it to 0. Mm-hmm.
That's why.
I'm tempted to try and grab Son and throw her in the cage.
That's why I was chuckling while looking at it. I'm like, yeah, even if he hits, it ain't gonna do nothing.
I'm gonna look over my shoulder and be like, Son, please don't attack our fellow party members.
He's just got like a little bit of blood dripping down his neck and 2 like puncture marks.
Well, I mean, a bite attack as a bat is a legitimate attack.
Right.
It's a thing.
So were you actually doing a real attack or just like a little nip?
She said she nipped at him again.
Nips. Okay. Okay, so not doing any real damage.
It counts as a melee weapon attack to hit, but it only does 1 damage.
Right.
The bite.
Okay, so you guys.
Question. If I want to use the healing kit to try and take care of Callan's bites, would that stop his bleeding and stuff like that, or do I have to actually do a spell?
You could just like wipe his neck and it would.
You probably just slap
fine.
a bandage on him.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't need to roll for it at all.
Okay, then I'll slap a bandage on him and clean him up. You too.
Thank you, Lilia. Man, it stings.
And I'll look at Sod and I'll point to the cage.
So you guys continue on like this till reaching the edge of the property, and you see a similar sign to the one that you saw before, pointing back the direction you came from and saying that here is the border of the rat estate, no trespassing, that sort of thing. And you guys pass it with ease. Nothing of notice happens, but you notice you're finding.
Are we here?
Yeah, you're right at that line, the black line.
Okay.
Son flips Lilia off and naps.
Wow.
Son smirks at Callan. Silly stick.
Anyway.
So you guys keep traveling, and you kind of traveled the morning away with nothing of note happening. Then around noontime, you guys come up to this rocky area. And it's like very hilly, some like sort of rock cliffs, not too tall, like maybe 10 feet, and like on both sides of you. And you're getting into this like narrow passageway when the horses get a little spooked.
And I try to calm the horses.
Okay. They don't calm very easily because standing in front of them are 2 wolves.
I mean, I have 2 options to do that. I could animal friendship charm them.
True.
Or I could do animal handling. But yeah.
Yeah, you could try either of those to calm them. But they are not moving forward because there's 2 wolves standing in front of them.
Yeah.
And they're definitely a bit agitated.
Yeah, I would like to go ahead and expend a charge of animal friendship.
Okay.
To kind of keep them from bolting, at least, while we deal with the wolves. So kind of convince them, stay back, we'll take care of this, just don't leave.
And can they talk to you with animal friendship or no?
Oh, that's speak with animals.
No, that I did not. Friendly. Yes. Okay. I convinced them that I mean it no harm. It can see and hear me.
Okay. So it does calm down a little bit with your animal friendship. And the 2 wolves are kind of like slowly walking towards you, growling. Go ahead and everyone roll perception. (19:6).
Yeah, my perception's not
16.
great.
And
True to form.
I'd like Moro to roll perception with advantage.
Whoa,
what about
Curio
Luna?
got a nice roll.
What about Luna?
Luna would just be a straight perception roll.
So who gets advantage? Moro?
Yeah.
I'm curious why Moro gets perception and Luna doesn't.
Maybe the type of perception. Yeah. Recognizing their own kind.
Yep. Exactly. So with those rolls, A couple of you are just fixated on the two in front of you, but the rest of you who rolled at least a 18 or higher,
So me and Luna, for sure.
and Curio, you look around and notice that you are actually surrounded
I knew it.
by wolves.
Grumble, grumble.
Like in all directions, and they kind of have you trapped in this narrow part of the road.
Okay.
Needy user says might need a few rolled up newspapers.
Son, I asked if I knew them, so no friend. I missed you. Do I know them? You do not know them.
So it is not
And
your pack.
Curio with a 24 also notices that further up the hill is not just a wolf, but a direwolf, who's sitting at the top, kind of watching. And this
Direwolf
direwolf is
friend.
like twice as big as Moro.
Oi.
And it has like a scar over its eye, like across one of its eyes. And it does not look friendly.
Alright, so speak with animals probably won't help us here. Noted.
I don't know if animal friendship would either.
No, don't think so. I think it's aware that we don't mean it harm, but it means us harm, so.
Okay.
Is there anything that dire wolves and wolves are afraid of?
I can pull out the deck of illusions and throw a card and we can see what happens.
I also have fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the only thing with both of those options is they have to have a wisdom score, right?
13.
Well, yeah, but the animal has to have a wisdom score.
Yeah, a wisdom saving throw of 14 or 13 for me.
Okay, they do.
Yeah,
okay.
They all have wisdom.
Okay.
So at this point I would like you all to roll initiative.
Roll initiative.
Okie dokie.
So Helen's initiative is +2.
Oh wow. 20.
Nice.
And it would not let me send it to the turn tracker because I hadn't
Helen's a 15.
selected my token. Ooh! Yikes, Curio. That's a nat 1 for a 5.
Son gets a 20.
Looks like I'm not exactly going last, but I'm going before Curio.
It's a 5. Aurora gets 15. Lilia
6.
gets a
6. So Son and I are both 20s, but Son is before me because she has the higher dex.
Okay.
Because Son and I both had 20.
I need to do something real quick so I can. Oop, that's not what I meant to do. I need to track which one is which, so I need to.
Need to add letters to your wolves.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah, so. B. Yeah, I forgot to do that. So give me a second while I set that up.
Son, what's your dex modifier? pretty sure yours is higher as a rogue, regardless.
Saflin, you go first.
Oh.
According to the initiative.
Okay. I feel like San should go first because we both rolled a 20 and San has a higher dex than I do.
+4 dex is 18. Sure, we can do it that way.
Well, because if her modifier is a +4, mine's a +2.
Mm-hmm.
So she has the higher dex, so she gets the lead on initiative on a tied roll. I want to say that's how it normally works.
Yeah, I thought so.
I don't know why it did a weird thing.
It might not. The encounter tracker is still in beta, so it might not even look at that.
Well, it also said that I couldn't add mine to the encounter tracker myself because I didn't have a token selected, so it may have been because you manually entered it that it didn't take it into account.
There
we go. Yeah, San should go first.
Okay, so that looks good. I'm gonna put that there. And this I'd like to move out of the way somewhere. Okay, that should be good. All right, so first up is San. So I'll also say that you guys can arrange yourselves however you would position yourselves to start here around the carriage. You don't have to be the first to attack, San, if you don't want to. But it seems the wolves are intent on fighting.
We at the very least need to get them to not attack our horses. You can use your action to talk to them. Yeah. You don't have to fight.
Yep.
You can also hold your action for a trigger during the turn if you don't want to go first.
Yep, there's plenty of ways you can. Oh no, that's not what to do.
It's up to Meteor if he wants talking to be a bonus action or an action.
Talking usually isn't even either of those.
Okay.
Unless you're trying to do like more
a
than
persuasion check or something.
Yeah.
As a result of talking.
Yep, correct. You want to try and to talk and hold an action. Okay. What is your action? What's the trigger? You'll ready your dagger just in case. So, what is the trigger for defending yourself? Just like if you get attacked or if someone near you gets attacked. If you get attacked, okay. So if you get attacked, you or more.
Or more.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Meteor, but I think you can only hold an action or a movement. I don't think you can hold your entire turn.
Yeah.
So.
Correct. It would be an action.
So if they wanted to move, they'd have to do it now. Or forego their movement this round.
Yeah, pretty much. You could move now, or you could forego it and just hold your action. Yeah.
Okie dokie.
There. Okay. Just gonna correct that by putting that down there. Just ignore it. Okay. So you want to try and talk. What do you say? You probably... Moro definitely could talk to them. You could... I would say you being raised by wolves, by direwolves, could probably speak with them as well. You want to shout up to the direwolf and see if it knows your pack. Okay? So you shout up to him. He will respond on his turn.
So that's right at the end.
Yeah.
So after all of the other wolves get a chance to fight us.
Yep.
Great.
That's generally how the talking works for that sort of thing.
Meteor question. Because
What?
we just got we haven't had a sleep, right? So we just got the gifts this morning?
We
Yep.
had a sleep last night.
Yeah, you slept last night.
My thing is we're not attuned to our gifts yet.
Oh, that's a good point.
Would we have attuned during the travel? Because it's usually, an hour for attunement?
Yeah. Yeah, you'd probably be attuned by now.
So I can be attuned to my staff.
You had several hours between when you got it and when you arrived here. Probably like 3 or 4 hours. So
okay.
You could have attuned to it in that time. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to, because it's already equipped, I wanted to make sure I could click off the attunement thing.
San, I'm going to retcon what I said since it's the very beginning of combat, and say that he probably would respond to you now. So you're asking if he knows you in your pack, and he responds with "Ah!" Like not even words, just a threatening growl.
So not even intelligent speech.
Would Morrow understand it?
Tomorrow it was still just a growl. Like he wasn't trying to
answer
say anything. He just straight up growled at you. So it's your uncle looks tomorrow. All right. So San is holding her action. That means it is Saflin's turn.
Okay. Well, they clearly don't appear to be open to reason because San just tried to talk to them and they just growled. And San doesn't look like that made any kind of sense to her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing. So.
Actually, sorry. Before you go, Saflin, it is technically Morrow's turn as well.
Oh yeah. Go.
Hey. Hi, welcome home.
Yeah, because I don't think you didn't have Morrow and San run their own initiative.
We got it done.
Yeah, sorry guys. Melody and Rue have stopped down.
Hi, Melody.
He has been gone all day, and
I
actually stayed home from work today to watch Rue all day. So they just got home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're tired. Well, go up to bed. They want to see him first, though. This way.
Need a user? What do you mean?
I'm working on the turning around part first.
There he is.
Hi, everybody.
He's getting big.
Hi.
He's out of frame. There we go. Now he's in frame.
Yeah.
Problem is, I can't see anything because I can't have anything open.
Oh.
Yeah, my computer's running at max CPU today for some reason.
Okay. We take a break from this combat to bring you Rue and Melody.
Now to our regularly programmed...
regularly scheduled combat.
Programming.
Yep. And needy user does have a point. The carriage is pointing in the wrong direction.
Meh.
No, you guys are traveling that way.
Wouldn't make sense based on the map.
It's like one of those things where like your map moves when you're oriented in different ways.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's fine. Sorry, I didn't even think to pull Nene's chat up because we don't have cross chat today.
If it makes you feel better, then there.
Yay, thank you.
Yes, it's Morrow's turn, son.
Yeah, Morrow turn.
There. So now it's faced the other way. Yes, Morrow's turn. So you could have Morrow try and talk, or whatever you want. Because he definitely didn't seem open to you. So Morrow looks at the closest wolves and tries to talk to them. All right?
Pack? Family?
So the wolves in front of him, Morrow Uncle Sirius. The wolves seem confused by the Uncle Sirius thing. They don't seem to recognize you or Morrow. And they respond to that, "Not our pack." Arr! Morrow looks to San. No pack hurt them?
Question mark?
Is it bad that I'm really considering digging out the pocket bacon and throwing it in a direction and seeing if any of them veer off?
You could try. I'd rule of cool that. San tells Morrow to wait and protect Pup. Okay, so Morrow is holding her action as well. I assume holding an attack for if she gets attacked. She or you.
Saffron, should we mix the pocket bacon with some of the lilies?
No, I don't want to kill them.
Doing that would probably take a turn by itself.
I know.
Yeah, that would have to be.
I'm joking for the most part, by the way.
Yeah, let's not murder. I mean, I can also pull out the deck of illusions and drop something down and see if we can scare them off that way. But
yep,
there are options.
I kind of want to re-roll half of the wolves so that they're not all moving on the same turn.
Would be nice.
So that you aren't getting like 10 attacks in a row.
Would be nice.
That'd be kind of nice to distribute them a little bit better.
All right. Yeah, sorry, I didn't think of that before. I just had
it's
them
like
all
bam, 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 bam. Oh, the last two of us. Bam, bam, bam.
All right. We'll separate them into three. So, or sets of three. So, we'll roll 2d20. 16 and an 8. So we'll have the first 3 move on 10. Next 3 move on 16. And the last 4 move on 8.
So they're all still before us, though. The last 2 of us.
Yeah, a lot of them are still back to back because that didn't
No, they're
change
all
much
still, aren't they? Or did the turn order not fix?
So turn order didn't change, so I'll change.
Yeah, turn order did not update.
Yep, I'm changing that now. All right, so that's more accurate. So Lilia and Curio rolling as poorly as they did kind of hurts because the 10s and the 8s are back to back. But that does break it up slightly, so that's nice.
Still ow.
Okay. Yeah, still ow, but only so much you can do. All right, so Saflin, you're up.
Okay. Looking at my options here real quick.
Evening, Burning Shadow. Oh yeah, and the chats aren't intertwined at the moment.
Yep.
We're all looking forward to being eaten by wolves. San wishes it was her pack. Burning Shadow, thank you for the follow.
Yeah, I'm looking at my new present and trying to see if I wanted to use anything on it, but probably not.
Okay.
Probably not. Not right now. Alright, well, if I grabbed a thing of pocket bacon and threw it in a direction, would that take my entire action? Or would that be a bonus action?
I'd say you could do that as a bonus action.
Okay. I'd like to do that first as a bonus action.
All right.
See what they do.
Where are you throwing it?
I would like to throw the pocket bacon away from the direwolf leader. So, over here.
Okay.
Try to see if I can get the two immediately in front of me and maybe this one to bear off. So see if I can get these three to have some attention. So somewhere that would potentially be within eyesight of all of them. So either there or there. Yeah. Something like that. So I'll toss my pocket bacon over there.
Okay.
And see if they react to it. So that'll be set up. And they'll react to it on their turns. I guess. And then I am also...
Just Meteor and the ladies again. Yeah, currently it is just Meteor and the ladies. Curio is going to be joining later, and Aurora may or may not join. So
hopefully Firebutt will make it.
Yeah.
Who knows how long dinner is going to run?
He intends to join as soon as possible. San is suggesting sleep.
I am thinking about that. I was trying to think about where to target it, because remember, I can't choose if it's only enemies. It's everything in the radius. So I gotta be careful not to hit the party. Is the problem. So I'm thinking about going ahead and using Misty Step to get closer to the pack leader so I can cast something that way. And not be surrounded in the process.
Okay.
I also don't know what the typical HP of a direwolf is, so it may not be enough. Yeah, I'll go ahead and cast Sleep. Let's see here. Well, that's your direwolf's HP, son. Doesn't mean that's his. Either way, it's only 5d8 for sleep, which means unless I roll really high, it's not going to be enough. I'd have to roll almost the max. But I'm going to Misty Step 30 feet.
Okay.
Because it gives me 30 feet, and it's a teleport, so it shouldn't incur range opportunity attacks, because it's just a straight-up teleport. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to get over here.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to move to that square. So that was here, I think. It was somewhere. It was either here or here. One of the two. I'll put it there. That's fine. Just be sure. And that's my Fey Touched feature.
Yeah,
my free use of Misty Step. As a bonus action. Or not. Oh, wait, that would be a bonus action, so never mind. I can't do that.
True.
Cannot. I forgot I used the pocket bacon bonus action already, so I can't do that. Yep. So I'm back here. That's where I was. Okay. Just thought about that. That's fine. I will not be using sleep because I don't think that's going to help. So I am instead going to expend... I'm going to cast Mirror Image.
Okay.
One of my new 2nd level spells. So it's
15 foot.
okay. Ignore the wall of text, but basically, I get 3 duplicates of myself, and anything that tries to attack me has to roll to see if they hit me or the duplicates.
Okay.
So it's I just have body doubles basically.
So if you have 3 duplicates, you must roll 6 or higher to change the attack's target. 2, 8, 1, 11. Okay.
Right. So it makes 3 duplicates by default. So I have 3. They're going to appear where I am, and they're going to mimic me exactly.
So basically, you're doing
work.
double team.
Kind of.
As a Pokemon. But not Pokemon.
But right, they're basically making it harder to tell which one is me. So we get to roll to see whether it hits me or one of the duplicates.
And I guess if it hits the duplicate, it disappears.
The duplicate fades if it's attacked, yeah.
So what is its AC then? What's your dex modifier?
So
4?
my dex modifier is a 2.
All right, so its AC is 12.
Yes, and my AC is 13.
Okay. So
That's
it's only
correct.
slightly easier to hit than you.
Correct, but it's 3 chances that I don't get hit.
Correct.
Which is nice. So
that's what I said, need user. Safflin is using double team.
Yeah, so that is set up. So that's my action. And it lasts for 1 minute. Or until all the duplicates are gone.
Okay.
So that is up for the next 10 rounds of combat. Yeah, 3 pup. That's what happened. I have seen your 2 son and raised it with 3 pup. Actually 4 pup because it's 3 plus me. So 4 Safflin.
Okay, so
And that's my action, that's my bonus action, and I can't move anywhere without incurring an attack of opportunity.
Unless you move backwards.
So I'm just going to move back a little bit closer to the horses so that me and all of my duplicates are kind of surrounding the horses.
Marva is not happy that there's more than 1 pup now.
2 son bad, 4 pup worse.
Well, and San is holding to protect pups, so now San is holding to protect 4 pups.
Okay.
Well, it's technically 1 pup, because other pups... I'm assuming if they get hit, it doesn't affect you.
Alright, so that ends your turn, right?
Yes, that's all I can do. I have thrown the pocket bacon, and I have set up duplicates as defense.
Alright, Lily, would you prepare what Aurora is going to do, please? That would be helpful.
Okay, you want me to do it?
Yeah,
So,
it's not his turn yet, but
right, but get his stuff ready.
Yeah,
gotcha.
That way I don't have to do Aurora, Curio, and Callan.
Okie dokie.
And all the enemies. And if someone else wants to do Curio,
I'm not good with that. Not with his multi-hit crap.
Okay.
Plus
I can
mouse.
Do it then. I can do it then. All right. So next up is this guy over here. He is going to move forward to attack the closest person, which is Luna.
Okay, question. Do you have her set up to be having her armor on?
Yes, she would have her. I assume you would have put her in armor once leaving the estate.
I mean, is she physically set up for it?
Yeah, we never took the stuff off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm always going to assume that it's set up for combat.
Okay.
Unless it's like nighttime and you specifically said you're taking it off, that sort of thing.
Okay. Wanted to make sure.
All right. So this one is going to roll to attack. There's going to be +4 to this. So 22. Which I assume hits Luna.
Yeah, her AC is 15.
For 2d4 plus 2. So +2 to this. So 6 damage.
Trying to remember.
And then she needs to make a DC 11 strength saving throw.
But she does take damage, right?
Yes, 6 damage.
And you said, what? Just a dex saving throw?
No, a strength saving throw. She needs to get 11 or higher.
So I guess I just hit the strength section, right?
Yeah, strength save. Yeah, strength is fine.
The strength dice, okay.
Yeah. An 8 does not save, so she is knocked prone.
Okay, what the heck does that mean?
It means she's going to be easier to hit until she stands up again.
Grumble, grumble. Of course you go for Luna.
She was the closest one there. So, yeah, the creature has disadvantage on attack rolls while prone.
So how exactly does she stand back up? She has to roll another strength?
No, she just can stand. Lily, correct me if I'm wrong. Does she have to use her action for that, or?
Sorry, say again. What's happening?
Luna is knocked prone for getting back up.
Half your movement.
Half your movement. That's what it is. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
So spend half your movement to get back up.
Okay.
But yeah, if she tries to attack while prone, it's at disadvantage, and anyone who tries to attack her gets advantage on their attack if they're within 5 feet.
You murder Luna, I'm going to be angry.
Ranged attacks have disadvantage against her, though. Okay, so that is that one's turn. Then we're going to go to this one, who's going to jump over your head and down the cliff and land behind you and do an attack on you.
Okay.
So that's going to be +4 to hit. So 23.
Obviously, you hit.
For 2d4 plus 2 for 6 damage. And you will need to roll a strength saving throw as well.
Give me a second. I am not strong, so this is going to be bad.
Oof. Nat
Yep.
1. So yeah, you are knocked prone.
Well, I have a +0 to strength.
Yep. Stick has a -1, so he's weaker than you. So that's going to be kind of the most difficult thing about this combat is all of the attacks are going to have a chance to knock everyone prone. So do keep that in mind. So yeah, that's going to be his turn. This one is going to jump down and try to attack Aurora for a +4 to hit, which is 19, which I think just hits him.
Its armor class is 18, so yes.
All right, so supposed to be 2d4. So that would be 7 damage halved to 3. Or wait, no, he's not a barbarian. What am I thinking?
No,
So
he's not using Stone's Endurance to reduce it yet, so it's still
yeah,
7.
so 7.
All right, I can't change his HP, so just I'll write it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
He
what
has
song?
29 out of 36 right now.
Okay.
Question.
Mhm.
Also, with what Son said, shouldn't have there been an opportunity attack?
They didn't move out of your melee range.
Correct. Yeah. They have to move
It's only
out.
when they move out of melee range.
And then he needs to roll strength saving.
Morrow
throw.
was ready to attack on someone else being attacked, so Morrow would have been able to
Okay.
interfere with that one. That's true because of the prepared attack.
Okay. I thought it was just Son, but if it was anyone nearby, then yeah, definitely.
Well, Morrow said, or Rasan told Morrow pup, so technically anyone
Okay.
in the pack.
Yep. That works.
Yep.
Aurora still needs to do his strength saving throw first.
Okay.
All right. 5 does not save, so he
That
is
was a very
knocked
bad roll.
prone.
Okay.
All right. And then and also he would have had advantage on the attack, but he succeeded, so it doesn't matter. Because of pack tactics. Okay. And then Morrow gets her opportunity attack, so go ahead.
I'm
9
assuming that doesn't hit.
misses.
And that definitely ain't better.
Let's see. You would have only gotten 1 because there's only 1 within melee. All right, so that was that one. So next is Callan's turn. Mora was a bit shocked that a wolf attacked. Okay. So Callan's turn. He is going to get his Eldritch Cannon. So he reaches back behind him like usual and sort of flashily creates this Eldritch Cannon right in front of him. And he is going to make the I think he's going to do the flamethrower this time. So that's going to be right. He's going to make that go right in front of him. And then he's going to move it. Where would get the most effect? It fires in a 15-foot cone. So I think he'd put it here and kind of fire it this way.
Yeah.
5, 10, 15. If he did. Yeah, if he fired it kind of this way, it could still get all 3 of those.
Okay.
Yep.
While still missing Curio and Luna. Because 5, 10, 15. Would he be able to get that one? Let's see. So 15-foot cone would be I think he'd need to move one more over to get all three, which wouldn't provoke opportunity. Actually, no. Okay, he's gonna go here. I think he can only get 2 in a straight line. I don't think there's any way for him to get the third.
Okay.
Okay, so he's going to have... well, he's going to do his bonus action first. And... Or no, the Eldritch Cannon is his bonus action. That's right.
So basically, all that's left he can do is fire it, I guess?
Yeah. So his action was creating it, and then his bonus action is firing it. So it's going to do 2d8. Oh, man.
It
That was
does
a
not
bad roll.
does not hit.
Is there I don't think there's a to hit with that, is there?
Oh, is that just damage?
For what? For the
For the
for
cannon.
Callan?
For the cannon.
Usually the to hit would be it would be Callan's stats, would it not?
I'm trying to read it. Eldritch Cannon. I know it says it somewhere. It's always a pain to find it. It would probably be Callan's stats.
Because Callan's attacking with it, I think, is how this works.
Yeah, we'll do it that way. So it would probably be a +4 to hit, which definitely hits. So it does 3 damage to both of those. For the first damage to the wolves. 3 damage. 3 damage. Okay. And then Callan's going to kind of back up to about here, I think. No, I think he'd stay just out of range of Curio, I think.
Oh, okay. I just read what Pika posted in the chat about the it being against a saving throw.
Spell save DC. Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that means there is no roll to attack. It just happens, and they get to save against the damage.
Yeah. Against your spell save DC. Okay.
Yeah, that means there is no attack roll.
It's just how much damage.
Yep, it just happens.
13 dex save? DC 13 dex save. Okay.
Yep. So they each get to roll a dex save to try to take half damage.
Yep, so they get a +2 to dex. So they both save from it.
So they take half damage.
Which would be 1 point each.
Okay.
So heal 2. No, not damage 2. No cheating.
Are they given the burning status effect, or is it just damage?
It looks like it's just damage.
Okay.
Taking 2 fire damage on a failed save half as much as a successful one. The fire ignites any flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried.
Yeah, they're not an object; they're a creature. Therefore,
so just damage.
But the floor would.
Each creature in that area must make a dex saving throw. It's your spell save DC.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So next is Aurora.
All right. So I was trying to figure out what he could do for bonus actions. Was what I was working on. which looks like he can do Searing Smite or Branding Smite as a bonus action, so I think that's what he's going to do.
Okay. On which one? The one that attacked him, I assume?
That goes on his sword, and then he's going to attack.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. It gives him a bonus to the damage on the sword, and then he uses the sword.
I assume he's going to get up first?
Well, yes, he's going to spend half of his movement to get up from being prone. That's correct.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes, that will happen. Yeah, and I think he's going to do Searing Smite, because that one will actually burn the target if they get hit with it. Okay. That will actually do fire damage.
All right, go ahead and roll to hit. Or is it a to hit? Is it a dex?
Well, he first he has to cast the spell, so I need to mark that as a first level spell. So that just happened. So that lets me add 1d6 fire damage to whatever attack we're doing. And then he's going to attack with the greatsword to the one that attacked him. I think the Moontouch Greatsword and the Greatsword have the same stats as far as damage and attack, so I don't think it matters which one I roll.
Let me see. I can pull him up real quick.
Because I have them both open. He's proficient in Greatsword, so it shouldn't matter. They both have 2d6 plus 3. They're both slashing.
Correct.
It just creates light with the Moontouched.
Yep.
Which, depending on where he is, if he's close to Son, might be a negative. So.
He's 10 feet from Son.
Yeah, so he's not going to do that one, because adding more light to Son would not be good.
Nope.
So he's going to do just a greatsword attack.
It is middle of the day, so she would already have disadvantage on perception.
It also means it wouldn't mean anything in that case, so yeah.
Yep.
So we're going to do a greatsword attack.
Yeah, it's around noon right now, so it's.
And then
that attack is nice.
That definitely hits.
And then there's the Searing Smite.
Oh, that.
All right. Doing.
Not one on the fire damage, but they're burning now.
Okay, so does 11 total damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then
one of it's damage? Fire damage. So the way that Searing Smite with the burning works is at the start of each of the monster's turns until the spell ends, the target has to make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, it takes another 1d6 fire damage. And if it succeeds, it's no longer on fire. It puts itself out.
All right. Well, with 11 damage, that wolf is dead.
Woo!
Okay, so they're squishy compared to the Direwolf.
Yeah. Maybe that was enough to start scaring some of them off. We'll see.
They're squishy compared to the Direwolf. Okay, I'm less scared now.
So there's one down. One that y'all don't have to worry about.
The ones that are surrounding you are normal wolves. The only Direwolf is up the hill.
Okay. Well, I was curious how much HP they had, so I'm just like, okay, they're squishier.
You know they have at max 11.
Yep.
So I'm not as scared. There's a lot of them, but I'm not as scared.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Still not happy, but not as scared. I can repeat that many times over.
Yep. Okay. Well, I think all Aurora has left is his 15 feet of remaining movement. Mm-hmm. So he's probably going to move himself near to whatever's the next target, which he's next to one, so he doesn't need to.
Yeah, I was going to say the next closest.
So he's going to stay right there.
And moving away would get opportunity
attack. He's going to stay right there.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, actually, he could dance around it as long as he doesn't leave melee range.
Yep.
So he might dance around it to get behind Luna, maybe?
He would have to go like on top of the carriage to get to that side.
Fair enough. All right.
Or go through Lilia and Luna, which is doable.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Move through Lilia and Luna and get to the other side by Curio.
That's doable.
So yeah, go ahead and move him right there.
Okay.
That way, if Luna needs to back off.
And he's kind of backed up against the carriage right there as well.
Yeah.
Is Callan supposed to be looking like he's sitting on top of the carriage?
He's not. He's a space
not.
away. The carriage stops here, and Callan's here.
Yeah.
Not from what I see.
You might need to refresh.
Yeah.
For me, he's sitting right
incorrect.
here.
Yeah, your map has him in the wrong spot. You may need to refresh. We have him moved one up on our maps.
Yep.
That's weird because I'm literally staring at the active one on my stream. Now I see it differently.
Okay.
Yeah, Roll20 is weird sometimes.
All right, so Aurora's turn is done.
Yep, that's all he can do.
All right. So that brings it to this guy. 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Going to go under the tree to attack Callan as the closest. And he's going to have a +4 to hit. So 12, which does not hit Callan.
Woo! Finally, one of us don't get taken down.
Yeah. So the wolf comes bolting down the hill towards Callan, and he tries to lunge at him, but he's kind of on a slope, so he kind of slips going
Overshot.
down, and just misses, and Callan kind of dodges out of the way a little bit. And then it goes to this one, who is going to attack the cannon. So this guy over here.
Okay.
Which it has an AC of 18. So +4, 19 hits. It has 20 HP. So do 2d4 +2 for 5 damage. Okay. There we go. 5 damage. Next is this one, who's going to come up to attack Curie. Actually, it might try to attack the flamethrower who just scorched its butt.
Fair.
What?
She said fair.
Yeah. And it's going to have advantage on this attack since it has pack tactics. So it's going to get a 14 +4 for 18, which just does that just miss or just hit? The AC is 18. I think that just saves, doesn't it?
Does it hit or
for Aurora?
No.
No, for the flamethrower.
For the cannon.
AC is 18 and it got an 18 to hit.
Yeah, it's on or above AC is a hit.
Okay, so it just hits.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to roll and do 8 damage. All right. Does it have a climbing speed? I think it does. Because it has legs. I'll have to look at that when it's its own turn. All right, so next we have this guy over here, who is going to get distracted by some pocket bacon.
Hey, it did something.
And he's going to start munching on that, skipping his turn.
Beautiful.
This guy here is going to come down here and attack San.
San was holding her attack, so she
Yep.
gets to attack now.
Correct. He misses. So it comes up to you, but you're ready for it. So you swipe with your attack. Go ahead and roll to hit. And it was caught off guard by you swinging, so it kind of stopped halfway through its attack.
11 to hit.
11 hits. Wait, no, sorry. No, 11 misses. I was looking at something else.
So they've got a high AC, a higher AC, but a squishiness. Okay.
I mean, 11's not an especially high AC, but...
Higher.
Sneak attack only applies if you hit. Right? Yeah, their AC is higher than
for sneak attack damage, it's if you hit. Do you have something that gives you advantage? Is that what you're talking about?
Being next to Moro, I believe, gives her it.
So would she get advantage on this attack?
Post sneak attack.
Because she's next to me and Moro.
I think it's within 5 feet of the enemy.
Okay, so Moro's within 5 feet, so...
Alright, so...
Yeah, that's sneak attack damage, which is not helpful. That's not what it is.
Might be on your features and traits.
So you need the ones that actually gives you advantage in the first place, not the one that benefits you if you have advantage.
I can pull you up real quick and double check. Once per turn, you can deal an extra 2d6 damage to one creature you hit with an attack. You don't need advantage on the attack roll if another enemy or target is within 5 feet. The enemy is incapacitated. You don't have disadvantage on the sneak attack. Once per turn. So no. I don't. You were holding your action.
Okay, so what we're talking about here would be called flanking.
Yeah. Which would work if she was opposite side. I'm
on
just
opposite sides or corners of the enemy space. So yeah.
Yeah. What I'm debating right now is if a sneak attack procs with a held action. Because it does say once per turn, you can deal an extra 2d6 damage.
I mean, she hasn't done it on her turn.
Right.
Yet, but...
But she held her turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she held her attack action and anything attached to it.
I will rule that you can roll for a hit for that, yeah. Because I feel that's part of your attack action, so... 14 does hit.
Well, good.
So
same damage.
Slashing damage. On this one. So it comes barreling up to you, ready to lunge for an attack, but you were ready for it, so you slash at it. It kind of like pauses and like skids to a stop, just barely out of the range of your first attack, and then your second attack, while it's still getting its footing back, digs right into it, dealing a big gash across its body. It is still up, though. All right. Next, we
So it
go
has
to this
between
guy.
8 and 11 damage. Or 8 and 11 HP. Haha.
Yep.
And this
Between
guy
8
is
and 11.
going to take advantage of his brethren and try to attack you as well.
Attacking me?
San.
Oh, okay.
For a 11 to hit.
Which miss.
All right.
Does that wolf have to move into melee?
It did.
Okay. It may be on my end that it's not showing it again now.
Yep, it's right here.
I see it this time.
Yep.
It is in the square right above San.
Yep, there's got to be an easier way for me to reset
it
the map.
actually gets advantage because of pack tactics, so it's going to roll a second time and get a lower roll. So still misses. So while you did your first attack at the wolf that attacked you first, the other one tries to sneak up on you, but then you go for your second attack, and that second attack makes the other wolf miss you because it wasn't expecting the second attack. So you just kind of are like expertly dodging around these wolves right now. It's scared. All right. And then we get this guy who is going to come up to Saflin.
Okay, so I get to roll a d20 if I'm the target.
Yep. So go ahead and roll your d20. An 8. Doesn't that just make it?
It moves to a duplicate. I only needed to roll a 6 because I have all 3.
6. Okay. Oh yeah, 6, then 8, then 11. Okay.
So I shift the attack to a duplicate.
All right, which has a DC of 12.
Yep.
And it's going to hit with a 21.
So that duplicate disappears.
It
ignores all other damage and effects. So
it just disappears.
It's immediately destroyed.
Okay.
It takes the attack and is gone.
Okay, I didn't know if it had like a health pool or something.
Nope.
Meteor,
It's a one hit.
Think of it like double team in Pokemon.
Okay.
Once the duplicates hit, it just disappears.
It goes for an attack on Saflin and ends up attacking one of her duplicates. Yep. And it like claws through it, making it disappear, and it kind of stands there looking a little confused because it didn't get anything in its teeth. All right, Lilia, you are up.
Okay, now I'm confused because of our conversation in Discord. If I want to... Oh, no, I should be able to because I'm doing a cantrip plus a bonus, right?
Right.
Okay. So first of all, I want to do my bonus first. And trying to find it. Give me a second.
Saflin, how much damage did Aurora take?
Aurora has taken 7.
7, okay. I've marked it on his sheet.
Okay.
So what I am going to... actually, which one should I do? Let me read for a sec.
Okay.
It's also expended 1 spell slot, but I'm also tracking that, so it's fine.
No, I can't. I have to do... Okay. So what I am going to do is cast Shield of Faith. And I think... Should I do it on Aurora or Curio?
I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to put it on Luna, quite honestly.
Well, I'd rather put it on one of the boys who are stronger than us.
That's gonna buff their AC, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Aurora already has an 18 AC.
Aurora has 18, Curio has 17.
They're both pretty high.
Curio would benefit from it more than Aurora.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're both very hard to hit.
Okay, I'm going to stick it on Curio.
Okay.
Curio has an effective 19.
Yep.
And for my attack, I am going to Toll the Dead on the wolf that's behind me that attacked me. Is it? It's not missing HP, correct?
The wolf behind you.
That's between Aurora, me, and Luna.
So I got to go through a lot of wolves here. He is not hurt. Correct.
Okay. So no. Normal roll.
Well, we are also flanking for your benefit, but for Toll the Dead, I don't think it matters.
Okay, so Wisdom DC 12. So he will roll that. His Wisdom is +1. So he gets a 12.
So that means he doesn't get the hit, or I don't get the hit.
Is it half damage or no damage?
What do you mean?
What does it say happens on a successful save?
Give me a second. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Why isn't it letting me display it? It's only on display. Damn it.
Under its description, it should say if the save is successful, then it does either half or no damage. And if it
I'm pulling it up in the spells list.
You point at a creature or within range spells. The target must succeed a wisdom saving throw or take 1d8 necrotic damage. If the target is missing any hit points, it instead takes 1d12 necrotic. So it's not an if.
So
it's no damage.
Okay, so no damage.
It's only if it's hit and it's damaged, it takes more.
Okay, cool. A lot of spells like that will say,
by the way, I got up before I did that. I'm standing, but I'm not moving because I do not want to be with move and range, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
As for Luna, I'm going to get her to stand up.
All right.
And I need to get to her. Give me a second. Mouse, hard. And bite at the one that's... bite at the one that's directly in front of her. Come on. Sorry, I'm having trouble with mouse.
Oof.
Okay,
that AC I don't think hits.
Is
That's
it
a 10 to hit.
10 to hit? Misses.
I mean, I think either way they'd have missed.
Yep.
But yeah, the first one was the attack roll.
Okay. Yeah, both of those would miss.
Okay, why is there 2 bites though?
The first one would have been the attack roll. You just hit the wrong one.
Right. It's the damage. You rolled damage first somehow.
Yes. That was what I meant, sorry.
But I clicked a single button.
Because 1d6 plus 2 is the damage for bite.
Just don't worry about it. It missed. Yep.
Mouse, hard, brace. I thought I clicked one thing and I guess I clicked another.
That's okay. Alright, so Curio's up next. Once Luna is done her turn.
She's not going to move then. She's in attack range.
Okay.
And she can't do a bonus.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. So it is Curio's turn. And he is going to
multi-hit wonder, please and thank you.
Yes. His bonus actions. He'd probably flurry of blows.
Something with key points. Blah, 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 blah.
Try to hit if he succeeds, flurry of blows. If he doesn't, he might do something different.
Yep. Okay, so he's going to do does he get 2 attacks right off the bat or just the 1?
It would say if he had multi-attack. I'll pull up his sheet and look.
Yeah, I don't see it saying multi-attack. He has deflect missiles.
Just gonna gonna pull up the sheets for all of our absentee members just so I have
When
them.
you move on your turn in combat, you can double your speed. Key points.
Nope, he just has the one right now.
All right, so it's the key points that lets him do it. Okay. So he's going to do his unarmed strike, which is
do that as a claw attack.
Yeah.
His unarmed strike is automatically claws.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Yep.
So that's a +6, which
Also,
is 15, right? 17, no, 13. 13 hits. So he's going to do 1d4 + 4 for a total of 8 hit points. He needs to go to one first, though. I think he's going to go
Needs
here.
to grab a target, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to go over here to stay out of the range of the fire. Because he saw where it shot
Where
before.
the artillery shot, yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to try to stay out of range of that, but still attack this guy here for 8 damage. Which it was already hurt before. Doing 8 more damage. It is still up. So he'd probably do another hit with his flurry of blows. As a bonus action. I assume that needs it to hit as well. Which definitely hits.
Mm-hmm.
Doing another 1d4.
Yeah, flurry of blows gives you two unarmed strikes.
Damage. All right, so that's 5 damage, which will take this guy out.
So, Meteor, for future reference, if you need to know how many attacks you're allowed per action, if you hit actions on all next to the word actions below, it'll say attacks per action and a number. So when he gets to a point where he gets 2, it will say 2.
Oh, I see that. Attacks per action 1. Okay.
Yep.
That's an easy way to see that.
Yep. He's not there yet.
All right. So that wolf is down. He still has movement.
Yep.
So
he does have movement, and he's not in melee range of anything, so he won't take an attack of opportunity by moving away.
Right. I was thinking he might go to protect Callan over here.
Okay.
But can he do anything else? I don't think so.
He doesn't need to Step of the Wind or Patient Defense. He doesn't need to.
Yeah, I'm just thinking with his key points, would he be able to attack a third time?
I mean, yeah, he can spend as many as he likes until they're gone. Would he want to right now, though?
I don't think so.
Because he probably would limit it to 1 per round just so he has them for Patient Defense and Step of the Wind if needed.
I agree. Okay.
Not to mention we have a Direwolf to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's gonna...
He could make his way towards the Direwolf if he wanted to. If he had a way to get there without dealing with the other ones.
There. All right, so then it will go to the Direwolf's turn. So the Direwolf is going to... Wait. There we go. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20...
Cross chat's been enabled!
30.
We may have an incoming Firedale.
Yay, Firedale!
I just seen the cross chat message. Thank gosh.
Yep.
Oh, thank gosh.
He has this move. He's 50, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yay, girls'
35,
night.
40, 45, 50. So he is going to come right here. And he is going to look at Morrow. And he is going to say, Direwolf, why you with humans? And
Because they my pup. It's on his family. She pack.
He's gonna spend his entire action and bonus action talking because he can't. That's as close as he can get right now.
He can't actually get to any of us to pounce.
Correct.
Whew.
Good.
Good.
He could dash, but he wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, he could
case.
dash or he could move and potentially attack.
Yep.
That's it.
You guys were just out of range.
Whew.
Mara
Good.
says, Uncle serious?
And he's now in charm and or sleep range, so yay.
So he was right here. So
That's the wrong kind of wolf, though, San.
Yep.
Tika.
He could go
Supposed to be a
one of
werewolf.
those 2 spots.
Woo, girls' night.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
The voice
Fire
changer.
Let's be real, though. I think Curio would be invited to any girls' night because he would be
Probably.
totally
He's
down
oblivious.
with us
Yeah.
making his tail as beautiful and fluffy and made up as possible.
Oh, he would. He would.
Definitely. Brush the tail, make sure it's nice and shiny and soft.
Right? Like,
Give it a good conditioning.
Firedale, you just missed your first turn.
Yep.
Darn.
Yeah, you crit failed the initiative.
Oh yeah, your
I'm used to
initiative
that.
is horrible. You got last in initiative, but you did
with
kill
a
a
crit
wolf.
fail. But yeah, you did kill the wolf.
Yay.
Please
Alright.
change the voice changer, please.
It's disturbing me.
I can't. Please.
It's
Is that
like-
better?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you actually made me unmute to say that. No.
It's slightly disturbing.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh yeah.
All right. So
Kinka said I'm a girl too. And
Well, we were
Pika
joking it was
agreed.
girls' night.
Yeah, so
And,
I
and
had
we put
to.
a wig on Callan and said he was in girls' night too.
he was an honorary member of girls' night.
Yep.
so this direwolf is going to keep talking to Morrow, and is going to say, "Humans bad. Join wolves. Attack." Oh crap! Hang on, my sound just went out.
I think Melody's a little bit
Oh, no, it
confused by the ladies' night thing.
Oh, dang it. I keep forgetting my new reaction. I need to remember it going forward.
So what did I do on my first turn?
You attacked with a claw strike and you did a flurry of blows to get 2 more in and you took out a wolf.
Spending, I think, 1 key point to do that.
Yeah, he only spent the 1 key point.
Yep.
Did you attack with my second attack?
We were trying
no,
to
you
figure
did
out.
flurry. Okay, it's all good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did flurry.
So do you get a second attack? We were trying to figure that out.
I think with the
As a
monkey
bonus
gets-
action, I can do my second attack. Flurry of blows is also a bonus, so I can't do both. I don't get extra
Okay.
attack yet.
Okay, well then,
I
So
I
the
didn't
flurry of
see
blows
it.
was fine.
Yeah, I didn't see it in bonus actions for you.
we'll undo the flurry of blows and just do the second attack so that you're not spending a key point.
All right, that's fine. No, it's just part of my
Yeah.
When I
Yep,
take an
bonus
attack action.
Yep. Bonus action, unarmed strike or claws. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Melody,
I
is your
see it.
husband a woman?
No, we said it was because of Abby. Because Abby's our GM, not Meteor. Right?
Okay.
All right. So I am closing out of curios. That's
So
one
I
less I have to
apologize
get.
if I sound rough. It's been a long, rough day.
You're fine.
I got free food, but I hurt so much.
Poor
Alright.
Firebutt.
I just messed things up.
And I'm injured, Nene.
But at least
All right.
you are safe for another several months now, Biodale.
So,
Yep.
San, this direwolf is trying to convince Moro to fight with them. Never hurt Pack. San is Pack. If you hurt her, I won't hold back.
So would
I would
somebody
say-
in chat like to catch me up?
San, you convinced them to let you see the vault.
Yay!
Yep. After about 10 times of
And-
asking.
Han
Then-
stole 25 gold from the vault.
Yep. Brimble was oblivious and blind as hell.
Yep.
Grimble was distracted by all of us trying to look in the
Yeah.
vault.
Brimble had advantage on his perception and rolled 10 twice.
He was watching the wrong people.
Yep.
Uh-huh. I just wanted to see what was in there.
Yep, we did
Melody,
get
what
to
are
see.
you going to see?
It was
Or
like
say.
filled to the brim with like gold weapons,
Spell scrolls. Yep.
scrolls, like
Yep.
you name it, it's in there.
Everything
I
but
would
a
have peeked
giant
in, shrugged my
sapphire.
shoulders, and walked out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we figured.
Yep.
Yeah, I just wanted to see in there. That was my driving curiosity. I wanted to see in there.
Yep.
So thank you.
We made it happen. We also all took some pocket bacon with us. I threw mine on the hill here, which is what this circle is. And one of the wolves got distracted because pocket bacon.
Yay.
Oh, that reminds me. The direwolf would also scold that wolf and tell it to
Wolf.
stop screwing around. Kind of growl at it, and
But bacon.
yep. And so the wolf is gonna be like,
But bacon would be something totally different.
Alright, so that is going to end the direwolf's turn. Actually, he's going to finish his turn by saying, humans hunt. Humans hurts. And he's going to touch his paw to his eye where his scar is.
Very dexterous wolfie.
That is
So
going to
there's
end
our
his turn.
opening. Yep.
So it seems like the reason you guys are getting attacked is because you're humans.
And because somebody attacked him. Yep.
I'll raise a paw and say I'm not a human.
Neither am I.
Human-esque.
Humanoid, but I'm not human.
Humanoid, yes.
I'm an animal.
Humanoid.
When it fits me, I'm an animal.
Yeah, no
when
one
it-
in
when
here
it
is a
serves
human.
your purposes. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is now Son's turn. Son and
Yeah,
Moro's turn.
I'm part demon apparently, so I mean really.
I'm reading chat.
Lots of wolves.
Aurora is a Goliath, but
Yep.
he's probably the most humanoid, with Callan and Son being second.
Also, Meteor, you might want to look at what your wife wants to do to you in chat.
Can I take some magazines? Oh my gosh. Really fits in the team.
Only if you post the picture to Discord, Melody.
Oh Lord.
Oh my word.
What
This
have we
cat-
done?
Thank goodness
No, I
the
told him
people
to.
watching the VOD cannot see this chat right now.
Melody has asked, can she
Chat
take
replay,
some
though.
mangoes to his chest?
And now
So
the
he fits in
YouTube
between
audience is aware of what was said in chat.
Yeah.
There we go.
Just so
They're
people
wanting-
can understand the look on his face.
They're wanting me to wear a bra and stuff it.
With mangoes.
Not on YouTube, Kinka.
All
Not on
right.
YouTube.
All right.
Oh, darn it.
Angel will Pika
Melody,
will
how
tip
about some
$10
socks?
for that.
Melody
some-
said she has no mangoes, so you are safe.
How about some
With
socks?
$10, you can buy some. Wow.
You could just stuff it with socks.
All right.
D&D has been derailed
Yep.
Yes,
because
yes,
of
it
mangoes.
All right, Son, your turn.
Wait, I have
Please.
I have a thing. We're changing the name of Dungeons and Dragons to Derailed and Degenerate.
Oh. Derailed and degenerate D&D.
Wow.
Anyways, go ahead.
Meteor takes 2d10 psychic damage.
Yep.
Son, yes, you would have been able to understand the direwolf.
Can San actually understand other direwolves other than Moro?
Well, she grew up in a pack.
Yeah, she grew up in raised by direwolves.
Okay.
So
She has a
She
minor
would
form of beast speech.
right. So she is uniquely able to understand direwolves specifically.
I guess kind of like I'm able to understand Luna. Kind of.
Yep.
Right. You don't get actual words, but you can make sense of the noises.
Yeah. You can get the gist of it. Moro, you have the telepathic bond, but the rest of these wolves and direwolves, 200 psychic damage against the DM. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. San is basically hearing the growls and the aggressive
And
posturing from the wolves, and it's hearing Moro's side of the conversation, of this one-sided conversation.
Yeah. Okay, so, San, what do you do? Not fully human, stop attacking and we can work something out. If you insist on attacking, I will kill. He is just going to growl at you again. So yeah, you get the idea from that he's not talking to a human. He'll talk to Moro because she's a direwolf. Oh my.
Moro is now typing.
Listen to San, we don't want to hurt wolves. Wolves are friend.
Not food. Unless attacked.
He would respond to Moro and say, attack them or be attacked, basically. Either join us or join them in death, type of thing.
The whole you're either with us or against us?
Yep, exactly.
Just wolf speak.
Tell San to kill. All right, so San, who are you attacking? That one above you? Okay, so an 18 definitely hits.
For 6 damage.
Dealing 6 damage.
And roll your sneak attack.
Yep.
Saplin is within 5 feet of the enemy.
Yeah, we were, just before you joined, we were trying to figure out if she held her action before. We were trying to figure out if she got
if she still got the benefit of sneak attack on a held action.
On a held action, yeah.
Yeah, sneak attack is part of the action.
We had her do it. We had her do it.
Yeah, that's how we ruled it, so I'm glad. All right,
yeah, if she ever has advantage on an attack, and she specifically gets it when an ally is within 5 feet of her target, then yeah, she can sneak attack.
What was Whales from the Grave's description again?
All right, so before you do the Whales from the Grave, 6 damage from the initial attack plus 6 damage from your sneak attack is going to kill.
Right, Whales from the Grave hits a second creature.
Oh.
That's why I was checking. So it will hit a different
30
target.
feet.
Half the number
Yeah.
of sneak attack dice for your level round up. All right, so
I think
So
she's
just
going
roll-
after the Direwolf.
Yeah, so
By
just
that
roll
click.
sneak
Okay.
attack damage again.
Yeah, it just
just
has
the
to be
damage itself.
within. Yeah, it has to be within 30 feet of the first creature that was
Yep.
targeted.
She
it's
clicked on Direwolf.
half the number of
Mhm.
sneak attack dice for your
Yep.
levels rounded up.
Well, when she did Whales from the Grave, it took that into effect.
Okay,
Or it
so
should have.
2 damage to the Direwolf. Got it. All right, so
Morrow's turn. Morrow's turn.
Yep, Morrow gets her
yep.
turn now.
Yep, Morrow's turn.
Guessing she's going in between Son and Saplin.
Mhm.
Or jump over. Okay.
One wolfie will have a chance to attack her
Yep,
if Meteor so chooses.
Yep.
The one next to Son.
This
this
one
one.
will
Yeah.
get an opportunity attack. And is going to have a +4. So 19 to hit. Hits.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
For my Silvery Barb's reaction, can I use that on an attack of opportunity?
What's it do?
Casting time is 1 reaction, which you take when a creature you can see within 60 feet of yourself succeeds on an attack roll, an ability check, or saving
An
throw.
attack of opportunity is an attack roll.
So yes. So I will trigger that.
Okay.
So I incur disadvantage on the attacking creature. I have an illusory vine with silvery thorns on the end that links the creature and Morrow. And the wolf now has disadvantage and has to reroll that.
Okay.
And Morrow will now have advantage
against that specific wolf.
on their next attack.
All right. So another 1d20 plus 4 for 15 to hit instead.
It does not have to be against that specific wolf, Firedale. The advantage.
Really?
Nope. It's display it right here.
Miss 16. Okay. So
Chosen creature
Morrow
has advantage
is
on the
safe
next
then.
attack roll it makes within 1 minute. Does not specify a target.
Yeah, that's nifty.
Yep.
So Morrow is safe with the wolf barely missing its its attack.
Mm-hmm.
And Morrow now gets advantage on the Direwolf.
Or its next attack.
Mm-hmm.
This is Morrow's next attack because that reaction happened before this.
Yep.
So
Morrow comes up to this Direwolf, and it is towering over her at twice her size.
Ouchie for the low roll, though.
Yeah. It was worth a try.
10 to hit.
Or an 11 to hit, so yeah.
Yeah. So that does not hit, unfortunately.
Oh well.
Morrow coming up to it is a bit intimidated by the wolf's sheer size and kind of snaps at it as a warning, but doesn't actually hit.
Also, Firebutt, as a reminder, because I don't know if you were here for that part, your AC got boosted by me for 2.
Yeah, so your AC is 19
for
right
2
now.
more? Oh, wow. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
at
used
21.
I
Holy
used
crap.
Shield of Faith on you.
21. Your
No, I think it is 19 total.
My AC is 19 by default.
Oh, it was saying 17.
And something was wrong on your character sheet when we looked at it.
Yeah,
For some reason, the bracers aren't showing up there.
Oh, you didn't have
Let me
them
fix
equipped for
that.
some reason. There you go.
Gotcha. Okay. Then Lilia, would you still have given them to him? I thought you said you had 19.
Yeah. Well, him with his multi-hit, too, so...
Okay. All right, so he's at a 21 now, so he's going to be, like, impossible to hit.
There we go. I fixed it back.
Okay.
All right, so...
I must have accidentally double-clicked
Morrow
when I was editing.
misses, bringing it to Saflin's turn. And Morrow says, stay away from my son.
Alright, Well, Saplin gets her reaction back because it's back to her turn, so yay! Means I can Silvery Barb again this round. Alright.
30-minute warning. Okay.
Well, now that there's a couple people clumped over here, I can either go directly for the Direwolf, or I can try to do sleep and hit 3 of them. I don't think the Direwolf's gonna go down from my sleep spell, though. So let's see here.
Just a moment, viewers. I'm fixing the thing.
Zoom that in so it's easier to see.
Thon is going, or Saflin is going to use a charge from the Staff of Charming.
Okay.
And is going to attempt to command the Direwolf.
All right.
Because I don't think that has to be a humanoid, but I should probably double check. Charm Person does have to be humanoid, so I can't use that one.
To a creature you can see within range.
Awesome.
Wisdom saving throw.
Against my spell DC, which is a 14.
Oh, I got here so late. I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
So I have cast Command.
Okay, what is your command? It needs to save first, I guess.
Yeah, it needs to save first.
All right, so its wisdom is +1 for a nat 20.
It saves.
All right, it saves, so it doesn't work.
21.
All right, so it has no effect. That's fine. That's why I use the staff rather than my spell slots.
And does it
so that
know
was my
you tried
action.
to do that?
Probably. It knew enough to make a save, so probably.
So it's gonna growl at you then.
That's fine. It can do that.
Yeah, I'd say since it has to save, then yeah, it probably knows.
Yeah, I think it would know.
Unless
it doesn't say whether or not it would know, but it would probably know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so tried that.
The way I kind of picture that is you tried to do it and spoke your command, and it just went screw you type of thing.
Yeah, my command was basically leave, as in leave us alone. So the flee command essentially.
That's smart.
To go away. That was gonna be the command I was gonna do. Was flee.
That's smart.
Yeah, and I believe that was an action, so I have a bonus action and my movement left.
Okay.
Although I don't think you can move.
Bonus action. I can if I want to incur an attack of opportunity, and I do still have my 2 duplicates, so they can take that.
True.
So there are things I can do there. I will probably go ahead and stay put regardless, but
okay.
But I do still have 2 duplicates up. I'm going to use my bonus action to cast. I can also just Misty Step out of range because it's a teleport.
True.
I'm going to use my Mantle of Inspiration as my bonus action to grant 5 temporary hit points to up to 4 creatures that I can see and that can see me. Each of those creatures can immediately use their reaction to move up to their speed without provoking attacks of opportunity.
Okay.
So I'm going to give that to Callan.
He is going to take that.
So that he can get out of dodge.
Away. Yep. And he's going to, I think, go up here.
He also gets 5 temporary hit points. I'm also going to give that to Lilia and Luna.
Okay.
And I will also give it to... If Son or Mora wants it, then I would offer it to one of them.
Trying to think of where to move.
If they wanted to set themselves up for a better attack, maybe. Otherwise, I'll give it to Aurora. Okay, so I'll give it to San. Okay, so Callan, San, Lilia, and Luna, you all can move your full movement without provoking an attack of opportunity. It will use up your reaction for the round until it comes back to you.
As far as I know, I'm the only one that actually has a reaction outside of you.
Right. And you get 5 temporary hit points, each of you.
Trying to decide where to go.
You're in a pretty good position with your back to the wall. Nothing can get behind you.
Yeah, I just wanted to give everybody a chance that would need it to not get attacked.
So say, for example, I'm placing it to ask, if I went here, would this be on the wall or just with back up straight to it?
Would you consider that on the wall meteor or just next to it?
Sorry, I was looking at something else.
This spot right here. Would this be
that-
on the wall or next to it?
You could say you're like pressed up against the wall there.
Okay, I'm moving me and Luna up against the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
So San, Callan, Luna, and Lilia.
Yep, and you all have 5 temporary hit points from that
Yep.
as well.
I need to do that.
So that'll
Okay.
help you all out a little bit, and that's my bonus action. And I am not going to move. I will not use my movement. I will stay put.
And
Okay.
me. Okay. I've got my hit points then.
All right.
Okay. So then it's up to the next wolf. And that would be this guy over here.
The one by Aurora.
Who is going to go up to Aurora right here and get a attack with advantage.
Why does it have
Okay.
advantage?
They're wolf. They
pack
actually get the wolf
tactics.
tactics. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Pack tactics.
Two next. Got it.
So it's going to do a
He has
14,
an AC
which
of
does not
18,
hit.
so it
Meteor?
doesn't hit. Yep.
Yep.
You rolled 2d20.
Oh, yeah, you should have only rolled 1, but either way, it doesn't hit.
That was the advantage. 6
No,
and 10.
you actually rolled 2d20.
Yeah.
Right, it added the 2 d20s together. It didn't take the
Yeah.
highest.
Yeah.
It's supposed to take the highest.
Yeah, so it rolled a 6 and a 10. So 10
Okay, I see how he's doing
plus
it.
4.
He's just looking at the number. He's not worried about the 16. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm taking the 10
It
as
doesn't
the
hit.
highest and doing plus 4, which is 14. So yeah,
It doesn't hit.
Okay. So then next up is the other one next to Aurora. So we're going to do the same. 24.
Yeah, well, that's a natural 20 at crits.
Yeah, so that's going to be a crit hit, which is going to do so max damage, which is 8
Max
plus-
damage.
Yeah, so 2d4 plus max damage on top of that. So
Wow, what kind of crits are you doing?
Yeah, that's a little
max-
weird.
That's how you usually do it. Right? That's how we've been doing it. You max the attack. Like, so if you roll a d8, then you get 8 for your crit on top of the damage.
Ouchie. Okay. Now,
How-
that's fine. If that's what you've been going with, then that's fine.
We just need to make sure we all do that, because I don't know that we have.
Yeah. No, that's definitely what we've been doing.
Okay.
Even when you guys do it.
Okay. I'm confused.
I've
but
just
okay.
been going with whatever D&D Beyond does for it, so.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to make D&D Beyond do a crit.
You can, in the settings at the top for Beyond, one of your options, if you go to the gear, is critical damage.
Yeah,
'Cause you
pretty
can-
much all it is you roll the dice twice.
Mm-hmm.
Is what it normally is for a critical hit. So
Okay, we can do that then. So
Yeah, it's
for
usually
the
just double the dice.
4d4 plus 2 then. Or would they both get plus 2?
the plus is only once.
Okay,
It's
so
specifically the
Mhm.
dice that's doubled.
all right.
Yep.
So then 4d4. Yeah, this is a normal wolf, not the
Oh
direwolf.
wow!
44
Extra
plus
things that give you extra dice do count as well, like sneak attack. You would actually roll twice those as well.
Yes,
I
that's
mean, they're dice.
correct. So that's going to do 14 damage.
Ouchie, Aurora.
Yeah. And he didn't get any of the temp. did
Nope.
he?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so 14
But he's a
damage.
tank, so hopefully he's good with this.
So he is down to 15 health.
Okay.
Yeah, wow.
He
Okay.
would use Stone's Endurance to have it or reduce it,
All right, and
which
that's
is a reaction. Reduce damage
Okay.
dealt to you by 1d12 plus 2.
Okay. So he's going to
At
roll.
that
So he
damage,
would-
I agree.
Yeah, he would go ahead and
3
roll
damage.
that.
He
Three.
avoids 3
Here,
damage.
I'm going to let you roll it, Lily, from his actual thing.
Okay, so
We're
let me
gonna. Yeah, we're gonna.
let me see if it
I'm
lets
gonna my
me.
roll.
Let me see if it lets me here. Because I tried just now and it just
Alright.
told me
Well,
the
It
description.
rolled at that time.
Yep.
Okay.
Much better.
So 12 total.
There we go. Okay.
So does 2 damage instead of.
Yeah, because it's 1d12 plus 2. Because it's plus his con modifier to it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Alright.
it rolled 10 and then added 2.
Right, that's what it should do.
And the damage was 12 plus 2, so total of 2 damage instead of 14.
Much
That's much
better.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
He would have reduced that. There's no way he would have taken that.
I agree. I didn't even know he could do that.
I specifically
That's a
did not give him the speed to move him because I knew he'd want that reaction.
He does need to make a wisdom or not a
Saving
wisdom,
throw?
a strength saving throw.
Thanks,
yeah.
saving
Or be
throw to see if he's
tripped.
prone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I've not been doing great with those rolls. Oh, there we
He's
go.
He should be good
17
with that.
Saves.
Yeah, I rolled a 2 the first time with that for him. Firedale is a problem.
Yeah.
Yep, so many wolves.
All right.
I'll eventually get to go.
So the next.
Yep, we'll get there.
Is Callan because the next wolf is already dead.
Callan's gonna have the cannon fire again.
So he is going to use his action to cast Chaos Bolt, his new spell,
Ooh.
at the Direwolf. So he is going to roll to hit with a plus
Look out,
5.
Moro.
So he gets a 21 to hit.
Wow.
And he is going to do 2d8 plus 1d6. So
Roll doubles. Roll doubles. You know you want to.
So roll.
You want me to type it?
I'm just gonna type. Yeah, I was looking at how to do it with the dice, the quick dice, but roll 2d8 plus 1d6. All right, so the
Oh, they weren't the
damage
same.
14
is
damage.
either cold or psychic. I think he's gonna do cold damage for a total of 14. So this is a spell you guys haven't seen him do before. This is one he just got from leveling up. So
Sticky's getting
he
better
kinda-
with magic.
yeah, he just kind of puts his hands out like on both sides and turns towards the direwolf and says, "Take this!" And beams kind of come out of both hands, combine into one, and then shoot straight at him. And it's this time it's like a frost ray. So like you can see like frost smoke coming off of the ray. as it hits him and kind of does like a little cold patch on his side where it hits.
Chaos Ray is the name of the attack?
Chaos Bolt.
Bolt.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't double, so okay. So that does 14 damage. There we go. And then he's going to use his bonus action to have the flamethrower attack the one in front of him. And it needs to do a DC 13 Dex save, which it gets a +2 to that. So it actually does save with a 20.
The cannon.
And so it does half damage. Come on, actions. So 2d8. So 15 halved to 7 damage on B. And that wolf is still standing. I believe she said he has 37. Yeah. Okay, so that wolf is still standing. He is going to have the cannon try to climb up this cliff, which will invoke an opportunity attack from the wolf, who gets a 15, which is going to miss, I believe. Yep, it's going to miss. And so the flamethrower is now up on the wall with him, sort of out of reach of the wolf. And next is Aurora's turn.
All right. Aurora's got 2 tasty targets.
Yep.
Flaming shish kebab.
Well, he's already used Searing Smite once.
I'd say probably do it again. Or flambe damage.
Yeah, I'm trying to see how many times, because it does count as a spell. Yes, he only has 3 spell slots, so he's only used 1 so far, so he can do it again.
And then I'd say maybe save the last for the direwolf if it doesn't go down by then.
Yeah, that was my thought, is save at least 1 for the direwolf. What's his health at right now? 29? Or did you not update it?
His health is at 25.
Okay.
Yeah, you might have to refresh every time to...
Very possible. Let me do that.
I think.
Okay, there we go.
One would be like that, right?
Yeah, because I was just trying to decide if he would have spent any effort on healing.
Okay.
At this point.
There we go. That's just an easy way for me to see damage range.
Mm-hmm.
Can it only hit 15 feet in front of it, or can it go straight line in front for 15?
It is a 15-foot cone.
Okay.
So it spreads out from the origination point for 15 feet. So, like, if it were to attack from where it is, it would hit that whole area.
Okay, that's what I was meaning.
Yep.
Not that it has to be 15 feet away from it. It's just it can span 15 feet. across.
Did he smack a wolf with his Syrian Smite earlier?
He did,
Yes.
and he
Yes,
killed
he
it.
did.
And it died. In one hit. So if you have a better idea for what he would do, Firedale, feel free to chime in. I was just thinking at this point, would he be more likely to do another Searing Smite, or if he has one that is just like is concentration and stays up?
Compelled Duel is the only thing I can think of that he might do against the big wolfie, but that one's an iffy. I think right now he would just attack. They seem squishy.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, without any spell bonus, just attack.
That's what I would say.
Okay, I'll go with that. I will go with
Or
that.
he can try command too.
True.
Oh, he does have command.
Yep.
He has a worse save DC though, so.
Also true.
Yeah, he's just gonna attack. He's just
right.
gonna try to hit the.
Which one is he attacking?
Let's see. Are either of them damaged?
Let me see.
That gun's about to shoot me.
Both of them are undamaged.
Okay. So I guess he would go for
Callan's gun is not about to shoot you, no.
this one. Because it's closer to Lilia and Luna and they were running.
I would guess that as well. He would go after the one closest to his allies.
All right, roll to hit.
Yep. All right. Yeah, because that would make sense to me. He would attack the ones that are threatening his allies. Because his allies needed to get out of dodge.
12 to hit is going to miss.
Ah. Not good enough. All right.
Too bad, because that would have killed it, for sure.
Yeah. It's okay.
They're between 8 and 11 HP. We figured that out. But no clue what the
Not sure what the DC is yet.
Yep.
Or the AC, yeah.
I'll say with that attack, it like whizzes by his head, like scraping the hairs on its head, maybe cutting off a few hairs.
Oh, so they have the same
not actually
DC.
doing damage.
They have the same AC as I do. What was it, 13? All right. Then I don't see anything that he would necessarily do as a bonus at this moment.
I agree.
So I think that would probably just be it. Because he can't move without incurring an attack of opportunity. I think that would end his turn.
Okay. What about Branding Smite?
That's
from the necklace.
Yeah. Oh, that's the next time you hit.
And it's also no, it is a bonus action.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's the necklace of prayer beads, which all of those are bonus actions from the necklace.
So he might prepare Branding Smite so the next time.
Oh, he can use Branding Smite now.
Yeah, he can use it and it'll take effect next round.
Time.
Yeah.
The next time he hits.
Exactly.
Sure. So he'll go ahead and do Branding Smite.
Okay.
So it's up.
Okay. Perfect. All right. The next, I assume he's not moving at all.
He'd get attacked. So.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think I'll have to re-roll it when he does the attack, probably.
Yeah.
But
because it has to hit something.
Yeah, I was just making sure it would actually roll.
Yep. Okay.
It does, so ignore that.
Okay. So Curio, the wolf next to you is going to try to attack.
I'll hiss.
With a 19 to hit.
Misses.
Which misses because you had the bonus.
Yep.
Normally that would hit.
Yep.
So then we're going to go to this one over here, who is going to try and reach the cannon, and when it can't, it's going to go to the next closest target, which is Curio.
And it rolls advantage.
Yep. So we're going to go 16 plus 4 is 20, which is still going
Misses.
to miss.
Thank you, AC boost.
Yeah. that AC boost really is helping right now, because otherwise he would have just gotten hit twice.
Yeah, my mirror image is doing a similar thing for me right now because I have yet to be hit.
All right. So then we go to that, which is dead.
You should probably just take the dead ones out of turn order.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to do that. I tried deleting them and.
You can't just move them out of the turn order thing?
Let's see. Oh, there! I figured it out. Okay.
There you go.
There's a space. There's like a white space over it, which doesn't look like a delete button at all.
Gotcha.
It apparently is.
Yeah, I've noticed the problem that I was having with reading the dice rolls and the menu seems to be linked to dark mode.
Yeah.
So if you switch to light mode, the menu should be a little easier to see.
I have mine set
They
to
just did
purple.
not plan dark mode out very well.
Yeah.
Mine's purple.
All right.
I'm fine.
So, okay, that should be more accurate now.
There we go.
So, the next one is Pocket Bacon, who is going to go 5, 10, 15, and then jump down over top and attack Lilia. Still with bacon in his mouth.
Question.
Yeah.
For my silvery barb. So the one that I used before was the free one that I get as part of my Fey Touched.
Mm-hmm.
It says I can also cast them using spell slots I have at the appropriate level. So does that mean that I would still use it as a reaction and I'd just expend a first level spell for it?
You could.
Yes.
Then I will potentially be doing that in a minute.
Okay. So just a straight attack for 21 to hit.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm
you doing
going
that?
to Silvery Barb, so tether between the wolf and Lilia. The wolf
Alright.
gets disadvantage, Lilia gets advantage.
So it now is an 11 to hit.
Which
Well,
doesn't.
actually, Lilia, are you likely to attack at all?
My plan was yes.
Because otherwise, I'll give it to Son against the Direwolf, or somebody else against the Direwolf.
Son already has
My
advantage.
plan is
Okay.
to attack.
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure that because I can give it to anyone I want. But yeah, I'll give you advantage on your attack then.
Son, he's saying you have advantage because
Flanking.
of flanking, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave it to Morrow the first time, and Morrow used it.
All right, so he's going to miss now because of that.
Beautiful.
Okay.
And we're going to go to the one above Saflin.
Yep. And let me pull up my
who
mirror
rolls
image.
A 14.
Well, hold on, because I have to roll mirror image to see if they
True.
hit me or a duplicate.
True. So whichever
So
one
let
it hits,
me-
it is hitting.
Pull my d20 for that.
So you need an 8 or higher?
Yes, I need an 8 or higher.
Oh my
so I only have
gosh, you
2.
did it again.
All right, I have 1 duplicate left.
You rolled a 6 when you needed a 6 and an 8 when you needed an 8. Amazing. So,
Well,
again,
I rolled
it tries...
No, I actually rolled an 8 the first time, too.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yep.
I mistakenly thought it was an 8. Okay. So, again, it tries to attack you, and it just... You just disappear when it tries to attack you, and it is getting frustrated now.
It collides with the illusion of my copy and is like, where did it go?
So it tries to hit you, and when it goes through, it actually bonks up against the tree that you're next to.
Best spell acquisition ever.
And this wolf is getting frustrated now. Like
We are a
it's
heavy
determined.
defense.
It's determined to get you. And
We are heavily
that
defensive
is
and hit
Lilia's
pointed.
turn.
Yeah, I only have a 13 AC, and they only have a 12 AC, but...
Yeah, Firedale, we started with 10 wolves
Take
plus
your
the
buff, bud.
direwolf.
Bye, Buff Bud.
Bye. So, Lilia, you're up.
Okay, I have a question first.
Okay.
I hate this thing. Give me a second. How do I turn that off? Apparently I can't. Trying to figure out how my spiritual weapon works. I can't do the cast to TV or to VTG.
Right, because what it does is it just kind of happens. You cast the spell and you make a melee spell attack against a creature within 5 feet of where you bring it in.
You actually create a floating magical sword.
Yes. And then that floating magical sword gets an attack when it comes in. And it's a melee spell attack.
Yeah.
So just if you can roll just spell attack.
Well, there's actually a spiritual weapon attack.
Well, then roll that, yeah.
I was just wondering how it worked. Which I have advantage, right? Because of the...
Correct.
Yes.
The flanking, correct.
Well, no,
you gave her the advantage.
Because of the
yeah, you have it from
silver
that
barbs.
too, yes. Yes, if you're attacking this one, you have advantage regardless.
The one right in front of me.
But if it's this one, yes, you have silvery barbs.
Yeah. You could move up one without opportunity attack.
Then
yeah, it's only if you move out of their opportunity attack range,
Yeah.
so yeah.
So what's your weapon look like?
I have a funny idea in my head, but it's not going to work.
I've seen people make a floating lollipop. You can literally make it whatever.
Yep.
I was going to say a giant fish sword.
You can do it.
Do it.
You're going to do a herring sword?
Actually,
or
I think
swordfish?
I think it's actually going to be a giant banana hammer. Like a giant banana hammer.
Go for it.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Rolling.
All right.
Really?
Second level set.
Natural 1 on the attack. Oof.
All right, so that
she
have to roll
She didn't roll the hit yet.
No, she rolled the damage, not the to hit.
Yeah.
That is the wrong roll.
How the hell do I do that then?
Yeah, so,
when you do the
hit
cast...
the bit that says +4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
With advantage. Correct?
Right. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
So
So
a 17.
17.
Which does hit.
Beautiful, and then roll damages.
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
It insists on giving you as low as it possibly can.
But at least it actually hits. You know? At least you know it hit.
That's true.
All right, so he...
And now that it's out there, I believe she can control it with a bonus action now.
And if she moves it with that bonus action, it gets to attack again.
Yep.
Okay, gonna have to guide me through this one then. What?
As a bonus action, you can move it, and it will get to attack.
It's just a floating sword that you've summoned.
Does it have to move to attack? Because I do see it under my bonus action.
Yes, you move the weapon up to 20 feet, so you can move it 5 feet, and you can move it 0 feet, because it's up to 20 feet.
Yeah,
and repeat the attack.
It does not have to move.
It's just as a bonus action, you can move
I would like to attack
and it gets to attack. You can do that, but it will use up your bonus action.
Yeah, because you would say you probably summoned it right here?
Yeah, like right here.
Where'd you summon it? Right there? So that's where it is. So yeah, it can attack again as your bonus.
So, but where would I move it to?
You don't have
need
to move it.
You can move it 0, which means it doesn't move.
Okay,
yeah,
so
if
I
you
roll...
choose to, you can move it up to 20 feet.
I roll the +4 again, correct?
Correct.
But you only roll it once unless you're attacking.
Yeah, you don't have advantage this time.
Yeah.
Rolling it.
10.
But 10 I don't think hits.
Nope.
Much better damage.
I'm literally giving no damage today.
You did damage.
You did 3 damage, but you still did damage.
Yeah, you did damage.
All right, so there's your sword.
Okay. There it is.
Oh yeah, so 10 misses, and that's your action and bonus action. So Luna.
But it's not a sword. It's a banhammer.
Yeah.
It's a banhammer.
I'll get that in a minute. Give me a minute.
Give it to
Luna.
him for next session. We got to end this one soon anyway for Pika.
Yep. She's obviously going to go for this one. And bite. Really?
Ooh. That's a crit, Meteor.
That is a crit bite.
Okay.
And that it's a nat 1 on the damage. So
Yeah.
again, make sure that D&D Beyond did the damage correctly.
It did.
Well, it
1d6
did the normal
plus
critical
2,
damage.
Yeah, it didn't do the meteor method.
And yeah,
So we need to re-roll it with the meteor method.
I changed it to what you guys said to do.
That way, it's all standardized.
Yep.
Okay. So how
Okay.
D&D Beyond did it. So yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 8 damage.
So 8 damage on the one in front of it. So
Yeah.
the same
Which
one
is
that
also the
attacked
one that I
before.
attacked.
Well, no, because you would attack this one.
No, I said the one right in front of me.
Then you would have had advantage because of flanking.
But I said because of silver barbs.
Yeah.
The first attack had silver barbs, which is why you had said this one.
That's
Unless
what we
you change
thought.
your
That's what
mind.
we understood.
That's what we
Yeah.
thought. But yeah, okay. So you would have technically had advantage on the second.
I thought she attacked the one she's saying.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I put the damage on this one.
Okay. Well, technically, she would have gotten advantage on this one the second time as well, then, because we're
Yeah,
flanking.
for that one that she rolled a 10 on.
Yeah.
So should I roll again for it?
Sure. Well, it's dead regardless.
Okay.
But if it
Luna-
would have died
Luna
on her
killed
turn, Luna might have attacked something
True.
else.
True. So
Yeah,
go ahead.
Luna might have
go
grabbed a
ahead
different target.
Go ahead and roll yours.
I gotta remember how to do that.
Hit the
Just
plus.
hit the plus
on
4.
It.
Yep.
No, it
Plus 4.
was under actions though. Normal roll.
Spiritual weapon and the plus 4.
16 hits. Roll damage.
Yeah.
7 damage.
So it would have still been up.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So Luna has now killed it.
Yep. It would have been very bloody, but it would have been up.
Okay.
Kitty fights back.
Okay. So next then is Curio.
Yay! I surrounded. I'm going to move up here. And I'm going to attack that one, I think is... Wait, which one's hurt? Is one of them hurt?
Let's see. A and B. B is hurt. So this one.
Okay, I attacked that one.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Oh, I've still...
Yeah, that's the one that's looking like burned from Callan's ballista.
Let's see, I can do that.
It's not as good as I thought it was. I'll have to do one.
17 hits and is going to take him out. So he's gone.
Okay, these have a little bit of health, so I will do Flurry of Blows on this one.
And apparently I had already taken him out of the turn order, so good thing you killed him.
Oops. So, first...
Okay, 21
That's this
definitely
one.
hits. 7 damage. All right.
Still up?
He is still up.
Okay, move there. And move there. And I'm going to attack the same one again.
Okay.
But now you're in attack range of the other one.
That's fine.
Okay.
20. Wow.
You are rolling well.
He has a +6. So that's why. All right,
Yep.
so that is going to kill it.
I had to pay for that +6 though. And then final move. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. All
But
right,
now
so
I
you're not
think Morrow
attacking
gets
again.
pack tactics, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right, so A is gone from the turn order.
Yeah, Moro gets pack tactics, but
Come on.
now Saflin and I are flanking the other wolf.
Yep.
See, without pack tactics, you actually have to be on opposite sides. The rogue and pack tactics avoid that. You can just be
Yeah, the
adjacent
pack
to it.
tactics can be adjacent. Everything else for flanking has to be opposing.
Yeah.
And dang it, I deleted another one from the turn order that wasn't supposed to be.
Oops.
Whoops.
So
Just change the letters.
yeah, so the one that's right here is gonna get a turn real quick because it should have moved already. So
It's a learning process.
yeah. Well, I was going off which ones had. So on D&D Beyond, it like turns them red when they're like really damaged, and I was looking at that as being dead.
And now her hammer is not actually physically there.
Okay, so he
What do you
can
mean?
be
As in, it doesn't take up the space.
yeah, so they
It
can
can
occupy the
move
same
where the
space.
yeah.
Basically. So it is going to try and attack you. With a d20, and it's gonna miss. Okay,
Thank gosh.
so it looks like that. There's a
Okay.
banana hammer floating above the wolf. All right, so then next up is the
Son.
Direwolf.
Oh. And before the hammer falls.
So the Direwolf is going to attack. Would it attack Moro for not joining or the humans? I'm thinking probably the humans before the Dire. Yeah, he probably saved Moro for last in hopes of bringing him over to his
In
side.
this situation is when you roll a d6 and you assign 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
So he is going to attack the one who hit.
I am
him,
easiest
which
for
is
him to hit
Son.
as far as advantage goes. He would roll twice to hit me. Son, he would only roll once.
That's true. All right, yeah, he'll go against you then.
I'm playing against myself, but I'm trying to help you out.
That was why you moved there, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, story wise, he may have gone for Son just because Son is the reason Morrow's not joining him.
Also true.
And Son did damage to him, didn't she?
I killed 3 of his friends.
Yeah, Son did damage him.
So it's up to you. No, I moved there so we could take care of the other wolfie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 1 or 3, Son. 2 or 4, Curio. Son.
Okay.
All right. So he is going to try and attack Son with a +5 to hit. Oh my gosh, he rolled an 8.
Whiff.
So he misses.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's Son's turn.
Yep, now it's Son's turn. Oh
That's a
my,
crit.
that's a crit.
And
Wait.
you also get to roll your sneak attack twice.
Yeah. So that's 21 damage right there.
Hold on. Finish your damage. Oh, never mind. That's Moro that's attacking first.
Oh, wait. Oh, Moro was attacking first?
Yeah. She rolled as Moro.
So Moro... Okay.
So Moro bit for 21 damage.
Jeez, Moro.
Moro is mad. Moro is
Right,
mad,
I
but her pups
can't
well
say
got
I'm
hurt.
shocked, honestly.
Well, then...
Yeah, the second
he
roll
needs
there
to
doesn't
do-
count.
Yeah, the second roll doesn't count, but he needs to do a strength saving throw.
Yep.
Which is
Moro is
wisdom,
peeved off.
or no, strength, which he gets a +3 to.
Moro is as
He-
pissed as
it is
Luna
not
was when
prone.
she almost died.
He saves. Yeah, he saves his strength.
Is the wolf still standing?
The wolf is still standing.
Have at it, son.
Moro's as pissed as Luna was when she almost died. Because wasn't that when she annihilated the mob?
I did figure out how to fix the critical hit roll in D&D Beyond, by the way.
Okay.
For the Beyond 20 extension.
Does 16 hit?
Ooh, cool.
Oh, that damage, though.
16.
It's 10 damage.
I meant the...
hit.
Oh, roll your d20 second time, Pika.
Yep. You get
Because
advantage.
you do have
so
advantage.
we'll take whichever one's higher. So we'll take the 16.
16.
Yep.
All right, which is a total of 10 damage. He is still standing.
Do you want to do
He
the
is
fancy...
looking very bloody.
Do you want to do the grave on that one?
What else from the grave? Well, she has to pick a second target.
Yeah, he said
Right,
this one.
that's why I said that
So,
one.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so Whales from the Grave.
So that's the crit.
That, I forget, is there a save for that?
No, it's just damage.
It's collateral damage.
Okay. So 6
She can only do it
on-
twice now, I think, though. So she can't do it again until after we've rested.
Yeah, it's a set number.
So
So that's
6 on
6
that
to the one right there. Yep.
Okay. Got it. And to the Dire? Wait, the Dire hits? I thought it was just hits first and second.
I don't think it hits both, but...
Whales.
Immediately after you deal your sneak attack damage to a creature on your turn, you can target a second creature that you can see.
Yeah,
Roll
it
half
doesn't
an
do
ability
extra
attack
damage to the
and the
first one.
second creature takes damage.
Yeah.
Only the second creature takes the damage.
Specifically from that ability.
Oh, no, I just read it. It's 17th level. It can hit the first target.
Gotcha. Yeah, you are not 17th level.
Not
I
there
don't
yet.
think we're getting it, are we?
No, we're not going to get there.
No, you're not.
Can I not use the necro on it? I'm the one who wants to kill it.
I'm not intending to kill it. I'm intending to give it one more chance to leave with a command roll.
No, it's gotta die now.
Okay. I was going to show mercy.
Nope.
You can do that because making it leave will force it to
We'll
force
incur
attacks of
opportunity attacks. Yeah. So you'll still be able to kill it on its way out.
Yeah, 3 of you will get opportunity attack if it tries to leave.
Yeah. I mean, he may pass the spell DC again, but
Yep.
I want to at least try. Saflin is going to try.
All right, so it is Saflin's turn.
All right, so Saflin is going to attempt to command it because she doesn't want to see this thing die. Necessarily.
Because Safi's a goody-goody. That's why we love her.
Yeah.
She's a chaotic goody-goody. Poor Awu. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, the woos. It has to die, Meteor. It has to die.
But yeah.
Cute
Zaphlin
flashback gif.
is going to attempt to command, and I actually had a question. For this staff, for the Staff of Charming, it says I can use an action to expend one of its charms to cast, but it doesn't say at which level. So would you, like, it attached to the staff it says first level. If I wanted to cast it at second level, would I just have to not use the cast to do that, or would I just use multiple charges?
I know my stuff is per charge. On my...
Because if I can expend more charges to cast it at second, I would. It just changes the number of targets. Doesn't change anything
I
else.
would say yeah, it would use an extra charge for each level.
Alright, so I will use 2 more charges for a total of 3 charges used. For command at second level, which lets me hit 2 targets. Because maybe if I don't hit the Direwolf, maybe I'll hit this one. You know? Try to hit them both.
Alright, so they both need to do what kind of save?
So I speak the command leave. This is your last chance. So command word leave. They have to do a wisdom saving throw. And they need to get a 14 or higher.
Alright, so wisdom. They both have +1.
And they both succeed.
Save. They both
Dang
save.
it. Alright, well,
Wow.
that was their last chance.
They are getting really good on their saves.
That's fine. That was my action. I still have a bonus.
My rolls today are pretty good.
Apparently. I was trying to give them an opportunity to get out. They did not take it. And since that was a staff spell, I'm going to leave this up to you, Meteor. Am I allowed to healing word since it's a staff spell or no? Because healing word's a first level.
Action?
It would normally be a bonus action, but the 1 level spell per turn rule does apply, so that's up to you. If the staff makes it count as a cantrip, so that I can do it. That's a you call.
Let me pull up your...
Because magical items are weird.
Character sheet.
Healing word would be a first level spell.
Alright, so...
The Staff of the Woodlands?
Charming.
The Staff of Charming.
Command, charm person, and comprehend languages. What is it you're trying to do?
I was asking, since I used the staff to cast command instead of expending an actual spell slot, would that count it as not having spent a leveled spell that turn, so I could still do healing word as a bonus action?
I would say casting it at an extra level would take your action. So
right, I'm saying as it count as a leveled spell.
She doesn't want to cast it at an extra level. She wants to know.
Because you can't cast 2 leveled spells in the same time.
Correct. That's the thing I'm trying to figure out.
I would say it does count as a leveled spell.
Okay,
when casting it at an extra level.
Okay. Because that's a D&D, that's a raw rule, you can't cast multiple leveled spells during your turn.
Yep.
Even if one's an action and one's a bonus. You can cast a cantrip and a leveled spell.
Yeah, I'd say that's...
and if a feature gives you a spell, it usually gives it to you as a cantrip.
Yeah,
if you don't expend a slot.
I'd say because you upped it, that made it count as the...
Okay. That's cool. So that's fine. I still have something I can do.
Yeah, if you did it at the normal, then it would not.
Then I will instead... Let's see here. Alright, similar question for Misty Step then. Since that's a feat-enabled spell that I can do without expending a spell slot, would that one be allowed or no?
Yeah, that should be allowed.
Okay,
That
so
would
I
be
will
like
Misty
bonus
Step.
action, I think.
I will Misty Step away from the wolf that I'm near.
Okay.
That will be my bonus action, and then I'll use the rest of my movement to move further away.
And where are you going to?
Because Misty Step is I teleport up to 30 feet to an occupied space that I can see. And because it's a teleport, I don't believe I take an attack of opportunity. But if
Correct.
I do, I'll take it. Yeah, but
Yeah,
because it's a
Teleport's
teleport,
one of the movement forms that doesn't provoke.
yep, I'm gonna probably join Aurora, take some heat off of Aurora.
You don't actually move; you just poof out of existence and appear.
Yeah, I
at the
just
other
poof
place.
over here, so I'm over here now. Take some heat off of Aurora. And yeah, that'll be end of my turn. That's it.
Okay. Then next is the one below Aurora, who's going to try to bite him and miss.
Okay.
Then the one to the left of Aurora, which is going to miss.
Okay.
Then Callan.
They get to roll twice.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay, so we'll take both of those as the first ones.
So can I retcon and say that I poofed here, just so Aurora gets flanking bonus?
Sure.
Okay.
As long as that's within the 30 feet, which I believe.
Yeah, it should be. I was here.
All right, so 18
Yeah, it's
plus
within.
4 is going to hit for 22. So that's 2d4 plus 2, I think. Yeah, 2d4 plus 2 for 7 damage to Aurora. Is the stone skin still up, or
Stone's Endurance? That was the reaction for that one
It's
thing.
an instant and over.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not still there.
Okay. Well, then 7 damage to Aurora. He's now at 18.
What was the attack roll against him?
22.
Yeah, 22.
I would Silvery Barbs that.
Okay.
Because I got my reaction back.
18 was the first one. It would just cancel out the double 20. Adding disadvantage and advantage would cancel out 18 was the first roll, so it'd still hit. So it's up to you.
Gotcha.
True.
Okay, I wasn't aware that he had taken 2 at once. I missed the first one. That's my bad.
Yep.
That's fine.
Because of pack tactic, you got.
Yeah, I won't interfere. Then.
Okay. Well, then I'm putting the 7 back on.
That's a really good first roll. If it'd been 8 and 18, then it would have been great.
Right.
Yeah. If he's getting attacked a second time from the other wolf, I'll interfere on that one.
And the first wolf just missed entirely.
Yeah. So that's why I was confused.
Yep. Okay. Well, then now it is Callan. And Callan, he is going to attack the one that's in front of Lilia. He's not going to steal. He's not going to steal the hit from San.
That's a nat 20.
That's not me.
Oh.
That's Firedale doing something weird. Okay, so Saflin is surrounded by a silvery mist that obscures her completely. It dissipates and she's gone until she's noticed on the other side of the wolf.
He narrated Misty Step.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, so Callan is going to roll his to hit.
I didn't get to do it like this time around, so I had to.
+5 for 23.
Nice.
And he is going to cast Chaos Bolts again. Right? Yeah. And that's going to do 2d8.
I agree, Abby.
Plus 1d6.
I agree.
And it's going to do force damage for 16. So it's going to slam it up against the wall next to Lilia. And it is going to kill it outright.
Thank you, Stick. We'll just yell across. Thank you, Stick. I guess that's thanking me for
That was
fixing
which
your
one?
head earlier.
E, J, and D. So that was H. Okay. Okay. And then his force ballista, or not force ballista, his flamethrower ballista. He's gonna have it stand down because he can't hit anything else without hitting other people.
Okay.
Not the tail.
Yeah, any of the ones he would try to attack would hit someone else too.
I mean, I've not actually taken damage yet, so I probably would have been okay with that, but
So let's see. Yeah.
so I would have been in the very edge of the arc. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I don't
Callan,
think
I'm fire resistant. Just fire.
Aurora would. So it would be like.
Do you
I'm
think
assuming it's
Callan would
fire,
do
right?
it? Yeah, it's flamethrower.
I don't think Callan would do it. No.
No, he forgets how much I enjoy being on fire.
It would hit Aurora.
Okay. Yeah, if he could have made it so it wouldn't have also hit Aurora.
Yeah. Yep. I think the only one. Yeah, he might be able to hit that one. So if he moves it here, he can hit J without hit. He can hit this one without hitting
Curio.
this one or Curio. Okay, he'll do that.
Curio quickly hugs his tail to his chest.
All right. So it's gonna roll. Oh no, it's a dex save. So they'll roll.
Yeah, I'm guessing he couldn't move enough to make his arc right here at the tip.
Not that. That's what I was trying to do.
Because I don't care if I get a full blast of it. It's fire.
So dex 13, I think. Yeah, dex 13, and he rolled a 14, so he saves. Dealing half damage instead of full damage. Which is still 2d8 for 6 damage. To this one. And that one is dead.
Yay!
All right. So then Callan's just going to stay right where he is. Because he has a perfect vantage.
Yep,
from where
he
is
doesn't
hit
need
everything.
to move.
Which brings it to Aurora.
Alright. So Aurora has, again, 2 targets in front of him. And he probably can kind of perceive that they've got the Direwolf. They're good.
Yeah.
And he did do the one thing.
Yeah, he has Branded Smite ready. So that exists. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So he's going to attack with his greatsword and attach the Branded Smite on the end.
Okay. On which one?
The one closest to Safi or the one towards Lilia?
Does he get flanking on this one because I'm here? That was the intent of my movement.
Yep.
So yeah, he'll get advantage on that one. So we're gonna go for this one.
Okay, go for it.
And then I want to do advantage with the greatsword.
He needs to. Neither of those have been hit yet. By the way,
It's still not going to be hit.
Nope.
Nope.
That was a very, very poor roll.
On the upside, the branding smite sticks around until it hits. So.
Yep. So it's still there. It's just not doing anything right now.
All right.
That's all
any
right.
Bonus action.
What level is command?
Command is.
It's a first level spell.
What action? Is it a bonus action?
It's an action.
Okay.
He could do compelled duel as a bonus action, but if they're not leaving him, it doesn't really do anything.
Right.
Well. He could cure. No, that's an action.
He could lay on hands. That's a thing. He could lay on hands himself. I believe that's allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So he'll lay on hands himself if he can.
How many points down is he?
He has 25 out of 36. He's 11 points down.
Yeah, because he can do up to 15.
You need to refresh. He's at 18.
I need to refresh. Okay, so he's more down.
Oh, no.
He can lay on hands 20.
He's exactly half his health.
Yeah, he can lay on hands 20.
So he could fill up to full.
I don't know that he would.
I'd say 15. That way he has 5 just in case disease later in the day.
Right, because he doesn't get it back until a long rest.
Right.
So he'd probably use all but 5.
And we have a lot of healing after this is over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he'll heal up 15 from lay on hands.
Okay.
And so his pool will be reduced down to 5 for now.
Because Lilia would be able to take care of any cuts or scrapes.
Yep.
That's my plan.
This is just to keep him up right now.
Because he kind of got hit pretty hard.
Hang on.
Yep.
Is that a bonus action or an action?
It's a feature, I think,
Lay
but
on
that's a
hands
good question. As an action. Oh, yep.
Oh, yep. Nope, he's fine.
Nope.
Nothing else he can do.
He's not doing anything, I guess.
Yep, I just noticed the one action.
Well, he has the prayer bead things are.
Yeah, he could use that for healing because that always counts as a bonus action.
Yep.
Yeah, so he can I think cure wounds. Probably the one he can do. If he has cure wounds on this one.
Yep, the necklace of prayer beads. It is there.
Yeah, so he would use...
It says one action, but it is actually a bonus action.
So it's 2d8 plus 2? Is it? Oh, no, that's it.
Cure wounds at second level, it says.
Yeah, you just roll it 2d8 plus 2.
Okay, so 2d8 plus 2.
Or fire can click it, I guess.
So yeah, 9...
I can do that. There you go.
Oh, Firedale. Okay.
Yeah, ignore mine. I was just seeing what would happen.
Okay, yeah, I rolled it. 14. It's a 14.
14. Okay.
So there we go.
All right. So he
used the necklace.
He's only down 4 now.
It's interesting that it did the whole different thing there. Like yours included the components, but mine didn't. How strange.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. Okay. So then it is now Lilia's turn.
So he almost healed as much as we wanted him to heal with the other.
Yep.
Okay. What I'm going to do is have... I can't move it. Banana.
Oh.
Moved.
Sorry. Yep. Controlled by Banana.
Here.
There you go.
Okay, so
you can move
Banana's moving here. Right?
Yep. There you go.
There it goes.
And I guess
it's to attack.
It's a normal attack, right?
It's
not my bonus, correct?
Bonus action to move it, and it doesn't attack if it gets near something, I think. Because you use the action to summon it in the first place.
So it's just the attack then.
Moving and attack are all bonus action.
Yeah.
It's the move and attack is one thing that happens together.
Okay.
and it's a bonus action that you get to use.
Okay. Then yeah,
Correct.
So
just
you still
just
have
roll the
your main
damage.
action if you choose. We'll
Yep.
roll the
Yep.
hit and damage.
yeah, roll to hit and then damage.
So roll the
Where
plus 4.
hell is it?
Yep.
But it uses your thing, and the wolf isn't considered flanked because you're not flanking the wolf.
Yeah,
Correct.
it's the same one you did before. The plus 4.
Sorry, it's not flanked, so I don't get advantage, correct?
Correct. It's a normal roll. 18, still pretty good.
Hits. 18
Yeah.
hits. Roll damage.
Click you to roll damage.
Why is it giving me only 3 damage?
Wow.
Because the D8 sucks.
Because the D8 does not like you.
But that's
That is the
3 times in a row.
Yeah.
I feel like
Here, roll it one more time just to check.
roll just the damage.
Yeah, roll just the damage. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, so it does
Yeah,
It's
it.
you're
not
just not really
broken.
unlucky.
So
not
that's my
broken.
first action, correct?
That's a bonus action.
Yeah, that was your bonus action.
You still have
You
your
still have
main
your action and your
a
move.
move.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to move, so I guess the other thing I'll do is
So
I
you
could
could
do
do
a
a direct
cantrip,
attack
right?
if you wanted to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you can do a cantrip.
Is the one that I hit damaged at all?
Yes, you just hit it.
You just
Right.
damaged. So yeah.
Duh.
Yep.
So yes.
The other one is not damaged though.
You gonna do Toll of the Dead?
Yep.
All right.
Nice.
So I will say if you focus on this one, it is not damaged.
This
Yeah,
Right.
one
that's
She
though.
wants to hit the one with damage because she
Okay.
gets
Because
bonus.
Toll of the Dead does a D12 if it's already hurt.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's why I keep
Toll of
asking, is it damaged? Because
Yeah,
it
okay.
changes the
I'm-
dice.
I was thinking you wanted the opposite. I was thinking you wanted
No.
Be
So
careful
10.
with how you roll Toll of the Dead.
Why?
Make sure that it actually rolled the D12. Okay.
It did.
It did.
Good.
I
I read that it was buggy earlier. It
did
doesn't
my
always roll
normal
it correctly.
Click.
Yep. All
Okay.
right. So that
You're all right. It
one
rolled a
is
D12.
dead.
Okay, so I don't want to move.
Hold on.
What?
I'm sorry. It needs to roll the saving throw.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yep.
I told
gets to
Meteor
try to
that
beat it.
I will help him out for things,
12.
Yep.
even if it's sucky for us, just because he's trying to learn
It
It
failed the
failed.
saving throw, so it's
It
fine.
definitely
failed.
took the damage.
Yep.
Yep.
That's fine.
Good job.
Okay, so now I don't want to move. That means my turn's over, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, so now
Right.
Luna's. So
Luna's
she's gonna
correct.
go
become a beast.
Luna
Correct.
up here,
Panther taking out wolves.
and
15 does hit for 4 piercing damage.
Now it's hurt.
Mm-hmm. Now it's taking
Mhm.
damage.
All right. It is still up though, because that was the first damage it took.
yep.
All right. So Curio, you're up.
Well, Cephalin's done that. Sans claimed it. So I'm going to do the only thing I should do.
Disengage.
No, I'm going to attack it.
Okay.
San said it had to die. I tried to give it mercy. San said it had to die. So,
San also claimed that she wanted to kill it.
Right.
well, yeah, but
Okay.
If it gets
It's
killed,
either-
it's the dice's decision.
yeah.
12
Yeah.
is going to miss.
Okay, so my second unarmed attack. I'm attacking to knock out, so
All right.
Attacking to knock unconscious, not to kill.
That does hit. So it does 7 damage and it is now unconscious.
okay, it's laying there at your feet, son. Since it's now unconscious, 1, 2.
Yeah,
I
non-lethal.
will go down here just in case it's needed.
Okay. That brings it to the Direwolf's turn, which it will do a death saving throw. since you did not actually try to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one fail.
Okay. It gets 2 more. If Son attacks it, it's an auto crit. It's automatically 2 fails.
Yep. Okay,
Oh,
Son.
It's an auto crit. She gets to double her dice. She gets the sneak attack.
Yep.
So I
It
set this thing up for you to kill.
Doesn't matter. He's failed 1 death saving throw. Any attack is automatically 2 failed
Yep, but
death saving throws, so
he's
it will
just
die
saying
no
she's
matter
gonna
what.
overkill it.
Yeah, I set this thing up for her to have her way with.
For the sake of her going to sleep, though, if she wanted to just know that it's dead, that will kill it. Before you roll anything, it will die.
All right, Son. Go ahead.
Son asked nicely, so Curio was being a good friend.
Whispers
Son
in its
leans down
ear.
and tells it, "For attacking our pack, you've sealed your fate."
It can't hear you because it's unconscious, but it sounds menacing.
All right, that's gonna hit, and it is now dead.
Hold on, let's see the total. You get double that damage. So roll another d4. And now roll 2 of or double your sneak attack damage.
Yeah, roll your sneak attack damage with advantage, so roll it twice.
Yeah, so she says she's just stabbing it straight on the top of the head.
14, 28 damage.
All right. It's probably dead.
So this large direwolf is laying in front of you. You whisper down, telling it that it's sealed its fate, and you plunge your necrotic dagger into its skull. And you see like a little like black lines coming out of your dagger into its head, dealing the necrotic damage. And it is dead.
So now that Alpha Wolf is dead, how's this other wolf looking?
Well, he doesn't get to go yet, so.
Yep. So
Morrow has a chance
Morrow's
to go
turn.
fight him. And if Morrow leaves him standing, I have a chance.
Yep.
We do have a spot open for Morrow down here.
It's getting a
Either
cramp
spot.
down here.
Yep. We're just surrounding this poor wolf.
Yeah, it is surrounded now.
You might as well remove the direwolf from the board.
Roll again just in case it
there you
crits.
go. Yep.
Nope, so 12 damage.
Okay.
Okay, 12 damage. Kills it.
He's gone.
All right. Well done, everyone. Another
And
combat succeeded.
can we roll to loot the wolves?
Yes.
No.
No?
No.
We're not gonna feed it tomorrow.
I want to bury them. At least I can
Okay,
do.
but you didn't want to collect a fang as a trophy?
No.
Okay.
Pelts are worth money.
No.
Pelts are worth money.
No.
I'll digress to Son.
I will fight you. Don't take nothing.
So she wants to pay respect to the wolves.
Alright. Yeah, if Son
They may-
protests, then I won't.
They may have disrespected us, but they're still wolves.
Okay, so can we check the area? Because I'm noticing a thing up here.
It's very possible that these wolves have killed others.
Yeah, we could search around, I guess.
Are you talking about that thing on the ground?
You mean the dead body?
That's a flower.
How is that a flower?
It's like
a
the
flower.
other ones that are around.
It's set
Yeah,
dressing.
That's a dead
That is
Where
a
do you
dead
see it?
body.
Oh, no. You're
Where?
Right. You're right. That is a dead body.
It's set dressing, though. He didn't plan for it.
I didn't even notice that was there.
So no.
It's probably a skeleton that's been picked clean.
Yeah, also consider the map is not necessarily the rule of there's something here. That's Meteor's decision and our investigation rolls. So just because you see it on the battle map doesn't mean it's there.
I'll rule that that's there. I did not notice it there before, but
Well, we would still have to roll to find it.
Where is this? I don't even see it, and I can see the map.
Up in the top
Top
right
right.
corner.
Out of where we should have been able to see without rolling.
Oh yeah, it's way up there.
Yeah, we should not have been able to see that.
It's where the Direwolf was. So yeah, you wouldn't see it from down here.
That
but
technically would be Fog of War.
So yeah, investigation, but it's a pretty obvious thing.
Yep. So go ahead and roll investigation for whoever wants to.
Well, I'd just like to look around and see.
Yeah, it's just slightly metagamey.
Yep.
But it's okay.
I mean, we would have looked around because if they've been here attacking people, it's very possible that others coming through here would have been attacked. And they wouldn't have any use for trinkets and treasures.
But my thought is the Direwolf was up there. What if there was something around it?
No.
Alright. Callan's gonna roll, and Aurora's gonna roll. And they both roll horribly. Callan's investigation.
And then Son spends.
So Callan got a 15. Aurora got a 5.
Our sleepy time to dig graves because digging takes forever.
I'll say with the 16 from Lilia, you go up there and you find that dead body there. It's been picked clean, but in its clutched hand, is a wolf fang.
Okay. So I'll pick it up and I'll hand it to Son to bury with one of the wolves.
All right. So you find some soft soil that you can bury them. No problem.
Also, before we do the burying thing, I do want... Can everybody come and stand near me, please, and thank you.
Yeah, I meant to roll stealth for the second one and I misclicked. I was trying to do it without Son noticing.
Although apparently I don't need it, so I'm just going to cast.
It was a nat 1, so it didn't happen.
I am just going to cast this.
Come on.
Did that do it?
Yeah.
Nat 20.
Where did that come from?
My staff.
Oh.
Oh, your staff lets you cast 5th levels right now? Nice.
It's got 10 charges.
Well, it's a specific... See, she is a cleric, and it's a staff that's perfect, so...
It has 10 charges, and it uses 5 out of the 10 charges.
Yeah, my staff of charming would technically be able to do the same thing if there were higher level spells on it, which there aren't.
So I assume that's dissipated between everyone?
Yes.
Should be everybody.
Yeah, so Callan was at full health.
Yeah, at
5th
level.
Yep. Lilia's at full health.
I'm at
Son and Moro
at full health.
Aurora is definitely full health now.
Luna is down.
Oh, also,
right.
If you had temporary hit points, make sure you resolve that.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is the only 2 people who were down
They'd be
health
gone.
were Aurora and Luna, I think.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to do something
less
strong.
Less extreme.
Fine.
She wants to show off.
If you want to show off, that's fine.
I'll fix it. I'll take the charges away.
Yeah. That way you still have it if you need it, because this is still midday.
We're not done, yeah. We have a lot of day left.
Yeah, but I don't have much spells. Then again, I have the wand, so...
That's what you use the staff for, is the spells. The lower level spells, they don't take a spell slot. So you keep your charges for that.
Yep.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do then is... Just Prayer of Healing do?
3 souls nearby and piles a few stones on top and says, a mini prayer with Moro. Okay.
I'll do a Prayer of Healing then.
So you bury them like up here. Over by the pocket bacon.
And that's what the prayer of healing is.
Really? By the pocket bacon?
Yep. Up to 6 creatures, 2d8 plus your spellcast. Okay.
Yep. So
Me and
those
put 'em
two will
down.
heal 19 points, which I think
Yep.
puts them both
Are
up
there?
to full.
Yep.
Thank you.
By the way, aren't I also damaged?
Are you?
Yeah? Yeah?
Then you would
Okay.
also heal 19.
Yep.
Yeah, it counts up to 6 creatures. So
Yep. Your choice, so you can choose yourself.
And I don't think I was hit again since. So I still have the +5 temp hit points.
So each person heals 19?
yes, it's not split. It is everyone
That's pretty
heals
good.
that.
Yeah.
Same thing for Mass Cure.
All right. So Aurora is back up to full then. Yeah, these wolves hated humans.
Son, we didn't make you kill the wolves. The wolf made you do it. It didn't
Yeah,
leave
we
you any
didn't
choice.
we didn't make you do anything. I tried to get them to leave.
No, she's talking to me.
Oh.
Oh, well, she spoke as Son, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, by the way,
she's saying
it
she
was
can't believe I made her kill wolves.
it was buried in the prayer of healing casting, but I did say that the final mirror image duplicate faded away now
Okay.
that the battle's over. So there's
Okay.
there's only one of me now.
There we go.
So Morrow can stop panicking about multiple sapling. There's only one
Okay.
now.
All right. Well, we will go ahead and end it there because we are well over time.
Yeah.
So good job, everyone, with another successful battle, and we will pick up here next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
So for those of you
everyone.
watching, thank you so much, and we will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.